4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Our broadcast will begin in 5, 1, mark. That was your 5-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
On the Bobcat Sports Network from Learfield, this is Montana State Bobcat Basketball, brought to you by Door Tech, raising the door on quality, Montana State University, Mountains and Mines, and by Rate, the foundation of brick homes throughout Montana. Live from the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth, here's the voice of the Bobcats, Keaton Gillogly.
If only we knew we were in the good old days while they were happening. Well, Bobcat fans, let me tell you, you are living the good old days right now. Montana State carries a 10-game tournament winning streak into the semifinals of 2025 Big Sky Tournament. Hello, everybody. My name is Keaton Gillogly. A pleasure to be with you on this Tuesday evening, as tonight we get set for the number 5 Montana State University Bobcats taking on the number 1 regular season champs, the University of Northern Colorado Bears. Bobcats come into play today at 15-17. They are winners of each of their last 3 ball games. First time this year they have had a 3-game winning streak after they went 9-9 during conference action. On the other side for Northern Colorado, they enter today's game at 24-8, 15-3 in conference play. They have their best winning percentage in conference play ever in program history, and they have tied their program record for most conference wins in a single season, and they are only 2 wins shy of the program record for single season wins overall. So they've got 24 right now, and they racked up 26 wins back in the 2017-2018 year. Remember, they only joined the Big Sky Conference back in 06-07, so still kind of relatively new to the Big Sky compared to teams like Montana State or even Idaho State from last week, or that we saw last night, as Montana State got that win 80-60. All right, we got a great show for you today. We will talk to head coach Matt Logie in just a bit. We'll get to our Mountain Hot Tub opposing team profile and our Kendall Ford keys to the game as well as we prepare for Montana State and Northern Colorado. But first, shout out to the women. What a performance they put together earlier today in their win in the semifinals. A 75-42 victory against Idaho State earlier today, and the top-seeded Montana State Bobcats are heading to the tournament championship game tomorrow in the women's bracket with a 3 p.m. tip-off. Daniel Sally will have the call at 2:45. And we had the upset of the tournament so far on the women's half of the bracket, with Montana as the 6th seed taking down number 1 Northern Arizona earlier today. So we have the Brawl of the Wild for a berth into the NCAA tournament in the women's side of the bracket coming up tomorrow afternoon. There is a chance to have a men's version of the Brawl of the Wild as well. Montana will play after this game against Idaho. Montana is the number 2 seed in this tournament, while again the Bobcats are the 5 seed entering this game today. So we're getting set for the Bobcats and the Bears tonight, and should be a good one after Montana State did lose the 2 games during the regular season against Northern Colorado, but 2 really very interesting games in a lot of different ways. Montana State lost that first meeting 83-82 after holding a 20-point lead with about 13 minutes to go, but blew that lead late. 16 lead changes in that loss, and it was Marcel McCreary off the bench who put up 21 points for Northern Colorado. And then Montana State had a good start defensively, but lost at Northern Colorado later, 73-66. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get you the Mountain Hot Tub opposing team profile. Then we'll talk with head coach Matt Logie. It's the Bobcats and the Bears in the semifinals of the Big Sky Tournament. Back after this, you're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
The Gallatin Valley is thriving, and Bozeman is not only a destination for families to live, work, and play, it's also a destination for businesses. The Bozeman Area Chamber of Commerce is a great way to get involved in Bozeman's thriving business community. The Bozeman Chamber Economic Partnership assists existing businesses through expansion, grows new companies in our community, and attracts fresh opportunities for Gallatin County. Bozeman, our community, a jewel among the Northern Rockies. For more information, go to BozemanChamber.com.
There is a local ranch just outside of Boise, Idaho, that has masterfully bred Japanese Wagyu cattle with American Angus cattle. Now this American-style Wagyu beef is available to you and your family. Rosar's presents Snake River American-style Wagyu beef. Snake River Farms beef is famously found in many exclusive five-star steak restaurants. Snake River Farms, available at your local neighborhood Rosar's.
From our 1946 roots providing lumber for Yellowstone National Park to our current headquarters in Bozeman, we at Simpkins-Howland believe in building the Gallatin Valley's future while continuing to honor its past. Contractors large and small benefit from our decades of experience and our extensive network of suppliers. We can source the materials you need, no matter the project. For all your building needs, go to where long-standing traditions have met with quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins-Howland, a Montana tradition among builders since 1946.
Ambient Air Solutions wants to take a moment to show our gratitude and to say thank you. Thank you to our frontline workers. Thank you to our doctors, nurses, and EMTs. Thank you to all the volunteers. And thank you to the Gallatin County community. Ambient Air Solutions is so grateful for your support for over 12 years. We are so blessed to live in such a beautiful place. Ambient Air Solutions is here for all your heating and cooling needs. Call us at 406-577-1818 to schedule your service today. Ambient Air Solutions, simplifying heating and cooling.
We're back on the pregame show, getting set for the semifinals of the Big Sky Tournament. It's Montana State and Northern Colorado, the Bears and the Bobcats, with Northern Colorado coming in as the 1 seed, and the Bobcats as the 5 seed today. Keaton Gillogly with you as we approach our tip-off coming up at the top of the hour. Time now to break down this Northern Colorado team and see why they're going to be in hot water today. Brought to you by Mountain Hot Tub. Mountain Hot Tub is Montana's largest hot tub dealer since 1979. Your authorized hot spring spa dealers with locations in Bozeman, Butte, and Helena. All right, let's dive into this Northern Colorado team. They've really been one of the best teams across the conference throughout the year, going 24-8 so far. They are 15-3 in Big Sky play, and they have now locked up their first official Big Sky regular season championship. They did win the regular season title back in 2011, but that championship was vacated due to some NCAA violations. So they get the win and the number 1 overall seed with the tiebreaker against Montana. And one of the reasons, I think they had a lot of early success under now fifth-year head coach Steve Smiley was this was a team and a program that came into this season with a lot of continuity. You know, the two of their top players have been Langston Reynolds and Isaiah Hawthorne. Now, Hawthorne transferred in from San Francisco, but Langston Reynolds is a third-year junior who has been in this program, kind of waited his time in his first 2 years, only started 3 games in his first 2 years, and now 30-game starter this year and averaged 16.5 points per game during the regular season. He is a dynamite, strong slasher who can really get to the rim and turn in some big-time highlight reel dunks. So keep an eye out for number 6, Langston Reynolds. And then Jaron Reilly, the now second-year point guard for Northern Colorado, overall a fifth-year player collegiately after transferring from Samford. But he is a dynamic point guard who really can distribute the basketball. He, throughout the regular season, averaged 12 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. He nearly had a triple-double against Montana State, and a guy who really knows how to orchestrate this offense and get himself to the line. So we'll keep an eye out for him. And then Isaiah Hawthorne, number 23, 6'8", again, a sixth-year player, transferred over from San Francisco, but a dynamic wing who has 17 points per game during the regular season and is coming off a monster performance in the quarterfinals. The win against Weber State, Isaiah Hawthorne had 29 points. He went 10 for 14, 4 for 6 from 3, and he pulled down 7 rebounds as well. Now, Bobcats let him get away from him a little bit in that first meeting, but in the second meeting, they held him to just 1 point over 13 minutes of play. So we'll see if the Bobcats can recreate that a little bit today as well. But overall for this Northern Colorado team, they are the number 1 offense in the Big Sky at 80 points per game, 52% from the field, and 41% from the three-point line. So they are a team that absolutely knows how to handle their business on the offensive end. And in a lot of ways, you know, we saw that in the first meeting when Northern Colorado scored 83 points in that 1-point victory. And we'll see if MSU can slow them down a little bit, kind of the way they did in the second meeting. The Bobcats only allowed the Bears to score 73 points in the second meeting. They did not allow a field goal make in the first 5 minutes of that contest, and it opened up an early lead, but were unable to hold on to it in what was a back-and-forth loss in northern Colorado back on February 8th. So we'll see if Montana State's defense, which has been one of the underrated stories of the year, can step up big against the Big Sky's top offense today in the semifinals of the 2025 Big Sky Tournament. All right, let's get to our Kendall Ford keys to the game today. Again, for Montana State, defensively, it is going to be really important for Montana State to handle business. There are a lot of dynamic scores between the strength of Reynolds, the size and speed of Hawthorne, and the Wiley, Jaron Reilly running the point guard position. So can the Bobcats slow these guys down around the perimeter? Also, at Northern Colorado earlier this year, MSU in the what was a 7-point loss, got out-rebounded pretty heavily, 43-36, and they gave up 13 offensive rebounds. So if MSU is going to win this game, they're going to have to seal off that offensive glass a little bit. The other kind of key here as well, and we did see some of this from Montana State yesterday in the quarterfinals, but you cannot foul this team too much. MSU allowed Northern Colorado to shoot 31 free throws in the loss in Greeley, which in a lot of ways was one of the main differences in that game and in that loss back on February 8th. All right, the Bobcats try to become just the second Big Sky team ever to reach 5 straight Big Sky Tournament championship games, and they could do that with a win today against number 1 Northern Colorado. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll sit down with head coach Matt Logie as we get ready for our tip-off of the semifinals of the Big Sky Tournament. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
Hello, tomorrow. We may not know exactly what you've got in store for us, for our routines and our normals. But here's the thing. Turns out, we've got this. We haven't seen everything, but we have seen ourselves be more ready for whatever you bring than we thought we would be. So when it comes to tomorrow, bring on the day. First Interstate, built for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Visit us at firstinterstate.com.
You are a Bobcat fan, and your seat matters. Section 108, right in the middle. And a perfect view of the fast break, alley-oop, and slam dunk. At Kendall Ford of Bozeman, we're a proud supporter of Montana State Athletics. We're big fans of teamwork, dedication, and helping customers find the best deal on the perfect vehicle to fit their needs. Where you sit matters, as in the driver's seat. Get started at KendallFordBozeman.com. Kendall, let's start something great.
Universal Athletic has been a proud supporter of athletics for over 45 years. Check out their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. Shop in store at their North 7th Avenue location or online at shop.msubobcats.com for everything you need to cheer on your Bobcats. Universal Athletic, a proud supporter of Bobcat athletics for over 45 years. Go Cats!
It's easy not to think about food security when there's food on the table, but right now, 1 out of 10 Montanans is hungry.
When families don't have adequate access to nutritious food, that takes a very real toll on people's health.
This is why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Montana partners with Montana Food Bank Network.
Our interest at Blue Cross is we want the state, whether they're a member or not, to have adequate supply, access, composition of the food that they're able to get.
Learn more at bigblueskyinitiativemt.com.
Montana Fence, located in Billings, Bozeman, Great Falls, and Kalispell, is Montana's largest fencing superstore. Get everything you need for your fencing projects at rock bottom pricing. Low prices on all styles of farm fence, chain link, vinyl privacy, ornamental iron, cedar pickets, continuous panels, wood privacy. We have it all. Quality materials at truckload prices. Let the experts at Montana Fence help you plan your next project. Whether you use our team or do it yourself, check out Montana Fence.
The roar of the crowd, the thunder of thousands of fans stomping their feet as the Bobcats take the field. For Mary, her chronic hip pain kept her from the thrill of her favorite pastime. Thanks to the revolutionary orthopedic care from Bozeman's local orthopedic groups and the Bozeman Health Spine and Joint Institute, Mary was back on her feet and back in the game. If chronic spine and joint pain is keeping you from the activities you love, start your journey by visiting bozemanhealth.org/SJI.
Back of the pregame show, and we are ready for the semifinals of the 2025 Big Sky Tournament. Keaton Gillogly alongside head coach Matt Logie as we get set for Montana State and Northern Colorado today. And Coach, I just want to start with, Brandon Walker and having not played these last couple of games, but how has he stayed ready and how has he continued to be a good teammate to everybody else as this role continues to keep going?
Yeah, he's, Brandon's had a great attitude. He's really connected to his teammates and has shown great joy for their success, which is just a special thing to witness. Obviously, he would love to be out there, but our team's been finding a rhythm and a flow to it that has helped us play some exceptional basketball. And, it's a credit to him for, being willing to just be a part of something bigger than himself and support these guys.
Well, going to have to play some good basketball today against the number 1 seed in Northern Colorado. One of the reasons they're the number 1 seed is their offense. However, that first meeting, you guys kept them without a field goal make those first 5 minutes. What are you taking from that second meeting, and how are you going to slow down what is the top offense in the Big Sky?
Yeah, I think our blueprint defensively has probably been the most successful of anybody's in the conference against them. And so that does give us confidence, moving into this third opportunity. Obviously, you learn something new each time you go against somebody, and so there's things that we can grow in and things that we've learned from, and I'm sure that they could say the same. I think the other thing that is exciting for us is from an offensive standpoint, they really haven't played against us yet. This is a completely different flow and pace and rhythm that our offense has been in these last 10 days, and that's going to be much more difficult for them to defend.
Yeah, looking forward to see how that gets out and plays today. Speaking of some of their guys individually, Jaron Reilly, one of the best point guards in this league. What does he do to orchestrate this offense so effectively?
Yeah, Jaron is really just he's the head of the snake. He's the maestro. He gets them organized. He's a terrific ball screen player. The last 5 games, he's shooting like 65% from 3, so he's really upped his percentages there. But he's just somebody that really understands their system, understands who has the hot hand, how to get them going, and can really make plays off the bounce for himself and others.
On the glass, this is a Northern Colorado team that does have some size. They had 13 offensive rebounds in the second meeting. How are you going to match up with them on the window and make sure that they don't get too many extra possessions there?
Yeah, I think obviously when you're coming off a 5-day prep for Idaho State, there's no better prep rebounding-wise than what you have to face there. And so, we got to have some carryover from that. We got off to a slow start on the glass yesterday, but I thought we got better as the game went along. And you just got to be physical in the trenches. You got to gang rebound, go up there with 2 hands, snatch it out of the air, and that gives yourself opportunities to get out in transition.
Overall for their head coach, Steve Smiley, now in his 5th year, but he lost some great talent last year and has some guys in this program that has now been with him just a little bit. But just overall, watching the way he's orchestrating this team, what has stood out in what his first Big Sky championship?
Well, I think the thing that is a huge benefit and quality to championship team is having consistency at the point guard position and consistency at the 5-man position, and they've had that the last 2 years, and even more so with Wisney's consistency there too. So that gives them 2 really good anchors. They've been able to plug and play with guys like Hawthorne and the kid they had last year is at USC. Taken over for Dalton Connect a couple years ago. They've always had really, really talented offensive scorers. Steve does a phenomenal job, putting his players in positions to be successful offensively.
All right, Coach. Well, we're looking forward to it. Going to be a fun one today. Appreciate the time and the insight.
Thanks a lot. Go Cats.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have our starting lineups and tip-off between the Bobcats and the Bears. For head coach Matt Logie, I'm Keaton Gillogly. This is Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
When a power line has fallen down, it can be downright dangerous and even deadly. That's because downed lines can still energize the ground and objects around them. To help keep you and others safe, Northwestern Energy says stay at least 35 feet or the length of a semi-truck away from a downed power line and anything the line is touching. You should always assume the line is live, and if you see a downed line, immediately call 911 and warn others. Northwestern Energy, delivering a bright future.
At Montana State University, students shape signature experiences that take them across the state and into local communities. MSU is dedicated to its land grant mission, integrating transformational learning, discovery, and service that improves lives. You'll find our students teaching across in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, or even creating small shelter prototypes to address homelessness. Montana State University. Think outside.
There is a local ranch just outside of Boise, Idaho, that has masterfully bred Japanese Wagyu cattle with American Angus cattle. Now this American-style Wagyu beef is available to you and your family. Rosars presents Snake River American-style Wagyu beef. Snake River Farms beef is famously found in many exclusive five-star steak restaurants. Snake River Farms, available at your local neighborhood Rosars.
It's the season of home improvement, and Williams Plumbing will help you tackle the big stuff. Are old roots clogging your sewer line? Williams has the tools to fix it. Have you checked your septic system lately? We have the knowledge and experience to maintain or repair it. Looking to install a yard hydrant? We'll do it promptly and professionally. Don't sweat the big stuff. Call Williams Plumbing today.
Now the Bobcats are on the cusp of greatness, but they have a tall, tall task today trying to knock off the number 1 seed, the Big Sky champs, the Northern Colorado Bears. Hello, everybody. My name is Keaton Gillogly, and we are approaching tip-off coming up here in 9 minutes as Montana State looks to extend what is a nearly unprecedented run in the Big Sky tournament. No team has ever reached 4 straight Big Sky Tournament championships, and only once have we witnessed 5 straight Big Sky Tournament final appearances. Weber State has done that once, and that is it. And the Bobcats, with a win today, would make their 5th straight appearance in the Big Sky Tournament championship game. We'll see if they can get this thing done today against the Bears after losing the 2 regular season matchups by a combined 8 points. So going to be a fascinating matchup today between Montana State and Northern Colorado as MSU eyes their 11th straight win in the Big Sky Tournament here at Idaho Central Arena. All right, we got one more break, and when we come back, we will be ready to go between Montana State and Northern Colorado today. Back after this, you're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
Hello, tomorrow. We may not know exactly what you've got in store for us, for our routines and our normals. But here's the thing. Turns out, we've got this. We haven't seen everything, but we have seen ourselves be more ready for whatever you bring than we thought we would be. So when it comes to tomorrow, bring on the day. First Interstate, built for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Visit us at firstinterstate.com.
Montana Fence, located in Billings, Bozeman, Great Falls, and Kalispell, is Montana's largest fencing superstore. Get everything you need for your fencing projects at rock bottom pricing. Low prices on all styles of farm fence, chain link, vinyl privacy, ornamental iron, cedar pickets, continuous panels, wood privacy. We have it all. Quality materials at truckload prices. Let the experts at Montana Fence help you plan your next project. Whether you use our team or do it yourself, check out Montana Fence.
For all of your tree and lawn care needs, turn to Arbor Medic Tree and Lawn Care, a proud sponsor of MSU Athletics. Arbor Medic Tree and Lawn Care provides outstanding service for your landscape. For pruning, removals, stump grinding, tree moving, plant health care, and all of your landscaping maintenance needs. Check out Arbor Medic Tree and Lawn Care. Wade duly certified arborist.
Bobcat fans, support both your favorite team and Montana State students. When you shop at MSU bookstores, you help lower the price of course materials for Montana State students. MSU Bookstore is owned by MSU students and faculty and serves as the only not-for-profit campus bookstore in Montana. Shop online at msubookstore.org, at Bobcat Stadium, or on campus in the Strand Union Building. Remember, Bobcat fans, when you shop at MSU Bookstore, all proceeds from your purchase go directly to lowering the cost of course materials for Montana State students.
Universal Athletic has been a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Check out their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. Shop in-store at their North 7th Avenue location or online at shop.msubobcats.com for everything you need to cheer on your Bobcats. Universal Athletic, a proud supporter of Bobcat athletics for over 45 years. Go Cats!
I was diagnosed in 2010 with bipolar 1 disorder. It took me a while, but I had to surrender to that fact.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Montana, we recognize mental health as the foundation of well-being. This is why we partner with advocates like Jason DeShaw and others who spread mental health awareness across the state and beyond.
I've learned that I cannot do this alone, that I have to reach outside of myself for help.
Learn more about Jason's story at bigblueskyinitiativemt.com.
On the Bobcat Sports Network from Learfield, Bobcat Basketball is brought to you by Town Pump Food Stores, proud sponsor of the Brawl of the Wild Series, and by First Interstate Bank, built for you. Go. Now turn it up. Turn it up. It's game time.
One hand slam. That was a ham. Got it to go. It's just that kind of night. Right corner three. Bang! Bang! This is the stuff that legends are made of. Gets it up for the win. Got it. Ball game over. Bobcats win. The Golden Bobcats continue their march. Montana State has done it.
We came here to win, and the best is yet to come.
Tip-off is just moments away from the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth. Here's the voice of the Bobcats, Keaton Gillogly.
Each March since 2019, the Big Sky Conference has went to Boise. They've entered a minor league hockey arena. They've laid down a hardwood floor on top of the ice, and on top of that floor, some of the great legends in Bobcat blue and gold have written the final chapters of their stories. Tonight, we've got two key seniors among a big stalwart of upperclassmen who are trying to continue the final stanza of one of the great legendary stretches in Bobcat history. Hello, everybody. My name is Keaton Gillogly. A pleasure to be with you for the 2025 semifinals of the Big Sky Tournament. Montana State winning yesterday against Idaho State in dominant fashion, an 80-60 victory. It was the best shooting night under head coach Matt Logie in the 2 years he's been at the helm here at MSU. An absolutely dominating performance, which crescendoed with a 31-point lead with about 4 minutes to go in the win against number 4 Idaho State. Meanwhile, Northern Colorado enters this ball game today, reaching heights they have rarely seen before since they joined the Big Sky Conference in the early 2000s. They are 2 wins shy of matching the program record for wins in a single season, and they've already matched the program record with 15 regular season conference victories, and today they tried to avenge a couple of losses in this tournament against Montana State. These two teams meeting for the third time in the Big Sky Tournament. They have met in 2023 in the second round when Montana State eliminated Dalton Connect and company. After that, Connect would transfer to Tennessee and then get drafted by the Lakers, and he is a main cog in the LA Lakers rotation now in the NBA. Before that, it was in 2022 when Montana State finally got the monkey off their back. They handled business and defeated Northern Colorado 87-66. The number 1 seed, Montana State, in that 2022 championship game, defeating Northern Colorado, led by Xavier Bishops, 19 points, as he was named the MVP of the Big Sky Tournament that year. And now the Bobcats have rattled off 3 straight Big Sky Tournament MVPs. It was Xavier Bishop in 2022. It was Raekwon Battle in 2023. It was Robert Ford in 2024. Will the Bobcats hang a 4th banner and a 4th MVP in the 2025 Big Sky Tournament? If they do, they will have to get through the top-seeded Bears tonight. So going to be a fantastic game. The Bobcats have one of the best and underrated defenses in the conference this year. MSU allowing fewer than 70 points per game, second in the Big Sky, going up against this Northern Colorado team that racks up 80 points per game, which is number 1 in conference action, led by 3 first-team All-Big Sky members in Langston Reynolds, Isaiah Hawthorne, and their dynamic point guard who transferred from Samford 2 years ago, Jaron Reilly. All right, let's pause 10 seconds for our network station identification. This is Montana State basketball.
AM 1450, KMMS, and K236CY Bozeman, 1340 KPRK Livingston, where Montana talks.
My name is Keaton Gillogly. Pleasure to be with you today. Bryn Chalmers is our producer back in the network studios today. We are approaching our tip-off coming up here in just a few moments between Montana State and Northern Colorado. They are preparing to announce the starting lineups. First, we remind you to join Champs Kids Club, presented by Billings Clinic Bozeman. Your $40 membership fee gets you game tickets, Bobcat gear, and more. Sign up today at msubobcats.com/Champs Kids Club. One of the interesting things about the Bobcat starting lineup that's running out there today is this is the third meeting between these two teams. This will be the third different starting lineup that Montana State will put out there against this Northern Colorado team. The first time these two teams met, MSU lost 83-82 with their original starting lineup of Patterson, Mullins, McMahon, Ogbong, Polo, and Walker. Remember, after the 5 games in Big Sky play, after the tight loss at Idaho State, they changed that starting lineup, and they had Jay Mullins and Patrick McMahon coming off the bench to switch things up a little bit, and it certainly worked. The Bobcats seemed to get some things going after that. Well, now another change with Brandon Walker coming off the bench, Jay Mullins back into the starting lineup, and we'll see if the third time's the charm for Montana State, who maybe has kind of unlocked a little something here after racking up 60 total assists in the last 3 games as the Bobcats have put together their first 3-game winning streak of the season. And don't forget, last year, Montana State did not rack up 3 straight wins until they got here to Boise, similar to the way they have done it this year as they entered the conference tournament with the same overall and conference records as they did a year ago when they completed the 3-peat. Is a 4-peat on tap? We will find out if the Bobcats to take one more step to that historic moniker today. All right, our starting lineups today. We begin first with the 5th-seeded Montana State Bobcats. Matt Logie, now in his 2nd year at Montana State and his 14th year as a head coach. It is Jabe Mullins, Bryce Zephyr, and Tyler Patterson starting in the backcourt today. Don't forget, Jabe Mullins was an absolute monster on his birthday back in early February in that 7-point loss at Northern Colorado. Racked up 24 points on just 12 shot attempts. He went 8 for 12 with 3 balls and went 5 for 5 from the free throw line. So Jabe Mullins starting. Bryce Zephyr made it to the Sports Center top 10 last night. How about that? Zephyr with a breakaway 2-hand dunk and 1 last night. So he has some national notoriety as he starts at the point guard position. And, of course, Tyler Patterson, who in his time in Boise is 12-1 all-time, the 5th-year senior and the all-time leader in games played as he prepares for his 160th game in the Bobcat blue and gold. In the front court, it is Max Ogbong Polo and Sam Lecolot for Montana State. Sam Lecolot is 10-0 at Idaho Central Arena here in Boise. Northern Colorado, led by 5th-year head coach Steve Smiley, as he earns his first regular season championship earlier this year, splitting the title with Montana, but earning the number 1 seed as they had the tiebreaker against the Grizzlies. His lineup, as usual, the same starting 5. Langston Reynolds and Jaron Reilly in the backcourt, a couple of first-team All-Big Sky members. Zach Block, Brock Wisney, and Isaiah Hawthorne. Hawthorne, another first-team All-Big Sky member who had a titanic performance 2 nights ago in the dominant win against Weber State when he racked up 29 points, thanks in part to the 4 3-balls he hit in the victory in the quarterfinals. So again, Reynolds, Reilly, Block, Wisney, Hawthorne for Northern Colorado, and 5th-year head coach Steve Smiley, who has now spent 9 total years in Greeley. And for the Bobcats, Mullins, Zephyr, Patterson, Ogbong Polo, and Lecolot. We have the women's final set for tomorrow at 3 p.m. It will be Brawl the Wild 3.0 on the season. It'll be Montana State against Montana for a trip to the NCAA tournament tomorrow afternoon. Daniel Sally will have the call at 2:45. Montana on the men's side will play after this game tonight against the upstart Idaho Vandals, who had the surprising 80-70 win against Portland State in a game in which it was really not even as close as the score indicated. Will we have an all-brawl final tomorrow night? Bobcats have done their part on the women's side. See if the Bobcats can do their part on the men's side today. Montana State back in the navy blues once again with the gold Montana State written across the chest in gold. For Northern Colorado, they are in the home whites, and as long as they're in this tournament, they will wear those home whites as the number 1 seed. UNC written in navy blue letters outlined in gold across the chest, numbers on the front and the back with the nameplate stretching across between their shoulder blades. We are ready for the semifinals. The Bobcats into the semifinals of the Big Sky tournament once again, their 5th straight appearance here, their 19th overall appearance in the Final Four of the conference tournament. They are 9-9 all time, looking to become just the second team in 50 Big Sky tournaments to reach 5 straight conference title games. We are ready to go. All the talk is done, and we'll settle it on the floor. The ball is tossed in the air, and the tip is won by a hustling Jay Mullins. And here we go in the semifinals of the 2025 Big Sky tournament. Bryce Zephyr sends it up to Sam Lekalot, who set the tone last night. Gives it to Mullins, who takes it to the free throw line. Touch pass to Zephyr. Out on the left wing, he gives it to the top for Ogmont Polo, who hands it off for Sam Lekalot. Bounce pass underneath. Patterson makes the catch with 8 to shoot. Kick out to the right corner. Mullins 6. Mullins with the dribble 5. Turns to the elbow 4. Crosses over 2. And he lost it. And Northern Colorado with the steal. They get the first stop of the ball game. Lob out to Hawthorne over on the right wings. Hop stop, handoff underneath. Layup is good. Brock Wisney landed in with a left hand. And a beautiful dish by Isaiah Hawthorne. 2-0 lead for Northern Colorado after an easy bucket. MSU with their second trip offensively. We got a whistle and a hand check foul. That's Langston Reynolds picking up his first foul. It'll be interesting to see how they officiate this game today. They really swallowed the whistles in a lot of ways last night in the victory against Idaho State. Bobcats a little more depth than the Bears. Zephyr lobs it in. It's picked off. Stolen away by Zach Block. So Northern Colorado with a couple of steals in the early going. Reynolds throws out to the left wing. Block kicks it out to Reynolds. Takes it inside to the lane. Stops and kicks to the right corner. Block for 3. No good. Rebound tipped and one from Mullins to Zephyr. The Bobcats have the ball going the other way. Mullins, transition 3. In and out. Ooh, that was a good-looking shot. Just popped off the inside of the iron. Northern Colorado with the ball in a 2-point lead. 18:35 to go first half. Just settling in to the first semifinal game of the men's tournament. Reilly up at the top. Crosses over on Ogmont Polo. Kick out to the left wing for Block. Moves to his right, gives it to Reynolds. 10 to shoot. Reynolds against Patterson. Takes it into the lane. Stops. Hands it off underneath. Wisney is there with an easy lay-in. First 2 field goals for Northern Colorado have been tough passes inside in the paint, and it's been Brock Wisney who has had the easy lay-in and been the recipient. 4-0 at Northern Colorado, 2 minutes into the first half. Zephyr probing at the free throw line. We got a whistle. We got a foul. I think that's on Reynolds, and it might be a second. That's a huge call if it is. It is. That is a massive call. Langston Reynolds picking up his second foul with 18 minutes to go in the first half. He averages 33 minutes a game and 17 points per contest, and he will head to the bench 2 minutes in. Bobcats with the ball, trailing 4-0, looking for their first bucket. Into the post, Lekalot makes a contested catch, had it stripped, recovers, knocked out of bounds, and it is going to Northern Colorado. One of the hallmarks of this dynastic run by Montana State has been their offense. We saw it again last night. It was the best shooting night under head coach Matt Logie in his first 2 years here. But early on today, the Bobcats struggling on the offensive end. Reilly takes it to the right wing, down to the elbow, kick out to the top. Wisney for 3, no good. And the Bobcats tip the rebound and win it. Mullins from right to left. MSU trailing 4-0. Into the right corner, then to the right wing. Here's Zephyr. Shovel out to Lekalot. Back to Zephyr. Working on Wisney. takes it to the free throw line, kicks it back out, and MSU resets. Mullins directs traffic, gives to Lecolot, still with 11 to shoot. Now to Mullins, turns to the elbow, 9, throws around to the right wing, 8. Lecolot at the top, puts up a 3. No good. Ooh, that was a good-looking shot. Just rimmed out. Cats have missed 2 just barely. 17 minutes to go, first half. Around to the right wing for Zach Block. Over to the left side for Marcel McCreary, who had the massive game in the win for Northern Colorado in Bozeman. Here's Block now. Right wing 3. That's good. Zach Block with his first 3 of the day. A 36% shooter from downtown in a 7-0 run for Northern Colorado to start this game with 16:40 to go, first half. MSU needs a bucket. Hand off to Patterson off the screen. Throws back to Mullins. Drives from the left wing. Spins to the left block. Had it tipped. Recovers. Down on the left baseline. Posting up against Block. Pivoting around on the left foot. Fall away jumper. No good. And MSU really struggling on the offensive side so far. 0 for 3 with 3 turnovers. Really setting up the offense. 7-0. Bears leading the Bobcats. 16:25 to go in the first half. Block throws it around to McCreary. Works his way with a righty dribble. Going to the cup. Lays it up. No. And Mullins has the rebound. Lecolot had the defense. Ahead to Zephyr. Slices inside. Kick out. Ogbong Polo takes it to the elbow. Pulls up for the mid-range J. Just short. And the rebound grab by Northern Colorado. And Montana State has begun 0 for 4 from the field. Block out to the right wing. Turns to the top, then the free throw line. Bounce pass underneath. Wisney lays it up. No! And the rebound won by the hustling Max Ogbong Polo. Great effort by Ogbong Polo. Boy, what a pace to start. Mullins at the top. Gives it to Lecolot. He's on fumes. Had it tipped out of his hands. And Zach Block just took it away from him. Block the other way. Swatted out of bounds. And that will take us to our first timeout. Northern Colorado has landed the first punch against the champs. Let's step aside. 15:24 to go in the first half. Northern Colorado leading Montana State 7-0. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
For all of your tree and lawn care needs, turn to Arbor Medic Tree and Lawn Care, a proud sponsor of MSU Athletics. Arbor Medic Tree and Lawn Care provides outstanding service for your landscape. For pruning, removals, stump grinding, tree moving, plant health care, and all of your landscaping maintenance needs. Check out Arbor Medic Tree and Lawn Care. Wade duly certified arborist.
The roar of the crowd, the thunder of thousands of fans stomping their feet as the Bobcats take the field. For Mary, her chronic hip pain kept her from the thrill of her favorite pastime. Thanks to the revolutionary orthopedic care from Bozeman's local orthopedic groups and the Bozeman Health Spine and Joint Institute, Mary was back on her feet and back in the game. If chronic spine and joint pain is keeping you from the activities you love, start your journey by visiting bozemanhealth.org/SJI.
At Montana State University, students shape signature experiences that take them across the state and into local communities. MSU is dedicated to its land grant mission, integrating transformational learning, discovery, and service that improves lives. You'll find our students teaching across Montana, conducting research in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, or even creating small shelter prototypes to address homelessness. Montana State University. Think outside.
This game is brought to you in part by the Montana State Fund, covering Montana's workers with workers' comp and safety know-how. Workplace safety or naked without it. More at safemt.com. 15:24 to go in the first half. Northern Colorado leading 7-0 against Montana State. Bobcats had a couple of good-looking shots kind of pop out as if the basketball gods reached in and said, your magic might be running out. Bobcats find a way to come back against this Northern Colorado team and maybe have to come back a little bit against the basketball powers that be. MSU starting 0 for 4 from the field, and they've turned the ball over 4 times so far. However, just a 7-point deficit for MSU. Early on, it's been Zach Block and Brock Wisney for the Bears. Pat McMahon, Jed Miller, Chika Naduka all into the ball game now. All 3 of those guys playing quite brilliantly last night. Specifically, Jed Miller, his best game of the tournament, 11 points, 6 rebounds. Inbounds pass for Northern Colorado to Hawthorne. He works down to the right block. Fall-away jumper is up. That's short. Offensive rebound down to the right baseline. It's lobbed out to Quinn Denker for Northern Colorado. Out to McCreary on the left wing. Turns inside into the lane. Goes to the cup. Banks it high off the glass and in. Marcel McCreary with a sweet hook shot up off the window. MSU now down 9-0. 15 minutes to go first half. Who's going to take the lid off the bucket? Jed Miller working in the right corner, trying to back it down on Reilly. And draws the foul. Ooh, they are blowing it tight tonight. Cancel take it, though. Tayshaw Jackson picks up his first foul. A little bit of foul trouble here for Northern Colorado as well. First team all-conference member Langston Reynolds sat down with 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes. Into Chika Naduka at 6 points in the quarterfinal win last night. Hands it off for Pat McMahon with a lefty dribble down into the mid-post. Stumbles, keeps possession of the ball, and gets it off to Jed Miller in the left corner. Out to Pat McMahon on the left wing. Calls up for a screen. Now crosses over with 5 to shoot. Posting up against Hawthorne. 3 into the lane. Fall-away Jay. Missed it left. The rebound loose, and then a foul on Jed Miller going after the loose basketball. And Jed Miller picks up his first foul. Look, this has been a pretty magical run over the last 3 seasons. But these first 5.5 minutes have really felt like the carriage has turned back into a pumpkin. 9-0 lead for the Bears. 14:29 to go in the first half. Obviously, nowhere near an insurmountable mountain here for the Bobcats, but need to get going earlier rather than later. Reilly, fall-away jumper in the middle of the lane. Rimming, no, and a foul going after the rebound. Should be after Northern Colorado, or is it Tyler Patterson? Oh, yikes. Tyler Patterson called for the foul there. Thought that was McCreary coming over his back. Oh, and Logie is living. I think that's probably a good argument. All right, here's the inbounds pass for Northern Colorado down to the baseline after Bobcats didn't get the call. Into the left corner, then back to Reilly, works the left baseline, then they blow it dead, and Reilly steps on the sideline, so a turnover by Northern Colorado. And, you know, officials will tell you there's no makeup calls, but that certainly kind of felt like one. 9-0, Northern Colorado leads. It's Montana State with the ball, 14:10 to go first half. MSU starting 0 for 5 from the field. Handoff for Jed Miller off a screen, throws back to McMahon. Right wing 3, it's up. No, it's short. And Northern Colorado with a rebound. MSU has started 0 for 6. Reilly down the left sideline, slices into the lane, goes to the rack, lays it up and in with a left hand. Jaron Reilly, one of the top point guards in the Big Sky, his first 2 points, and it's an 11-0 run for the Bears. Bobcats trying to snap this early drought. Mullins misses a right wing 3, and the rebound grab by Northern Colorado. And the Avalanche fall the wrong way against MSU in the early going. Reilly, handoff underneath, layup, no, put back, no, and they called a foul on Chika Naduka. That's a bad call. Yikes. Naduka was in front of Jaron Reilly. He went straight up and attacked the basketball. He hit nothing but the rock. Reilly was behind him. How do you foul a guy when you jump straight up and you touch nothing but the basketball? That's a pretty brutal call. Jaron Reilly going to the line now, averaging 12 points per game, 84% from the stripe, and he hits the first. Reilly from Sydney, Australia. Transferred in from Samford, his second year here at Northern Colorado, fifth-year grad student. 12-0 run for Northern Colorado to start it. Next free throw is good. It's a 13-0 run to start things for Northern Colorado. 13.5 to go in the first. MSU with their back up against the wall early. Jed Miller moves left around the screen, picks up the dribble and goes to Patterson. He fires from the left wing. The 3 ball is in and out. Oh, man, that thing looked like it should have fallen. Northern Colorado has the rebound. Here's Quinn Denker now on the left wing. Out to the left corner. McCreary posting up against Miller. Long skip pass to the right corner. Hawthorne for 3. That's no good. And the rebound won by Jay Mullins. Ooh, that was a good board with a little assist from Jed Miller. Mullins hands it off to McMahon. Around to Miller on the right wing. MSU has gone 7 minutes without a bucket to start the night in the semifinals. Miller in the right corner. Working over on the sideline. Long skip pass to the left corner for McMahon. He works the left baseline, gets into a posting situation, backing in on Hawthorne, steps through, got blocked by Wisney. It's loose on the floor and picked up by Northern Colorado. MSU 0 for 9. Now Hawthorne falls, and they call a blocking foul. Hawthorne tripped. They're going to say no shot, which if you're going to call the foul, that looked like he was in the shooting motion. Tyler Patterson has just picked up his second foul. And frankly, I think the call was wrong, and then I think they administered it incorrectly. To be clear, the officials are not the reason Montana State is down 13-0. They have taken some excellent shots, and they have had some tough shots rim out. 12:29 to go in the first half. Into the left corner, Northern Colorado inbounds it and goes to work. Up to Hawthorne, coming off his 29-point performance in the quarterfinals. Hawthorne into the lane, backing it down, hooks it up. That is good. Boy, Hawthorne just extended his left arm into the throat of Jed Miller. And in a game in which they've blown a tight whistle, they let that one go. MSU with the ball down 15-0. Pat McMahon has it at the top. 12 minutes left of the first half. Around to Miller on the right wing. Out to Garacki. Then to the left corner for McMahon. Crossing over on the left wing with 8 to shoot. Then to Lekalot at the free throw line, 5. Out to Garacki. Left wing 3 is up. That's good. There we go. And the first bucket falls out of the hands of Brian Garacki with 11:44 to go in the first half. For a guy who was mired in one of the worst slumps of the year, did not score for 5 straight games, he's the one who takes the lid off the bucket. Now Reilly into the post, pivoting around on Mullins. Fall away Jay is short, and Jed Miller clears the rebound. All right, here we go. MSU trying to find a little momentum, trailing 15-3 with 11:22 to go in the first half. You're going to have a drought. Do it early. Got plenty of time to come back. Here's Miller from deep. Front iron, no. Rebound, Northern Colorado. Bobcats are 1 for 10 from the field. One of the hallmarks of this dynastic run the last 3 years has been their offense, and it has not showed up early in the semifinals tonight. Zach Block out on the right wing. Lobs it into Wisney down to the right baseline. Double teamed. Shoves off, no call. Throws up to the top. Around to the left wing. Into the corner. Denker for 3. That's no good. Wisney the rebounds. Down to the right baseline. He kicks it back out to the top. Here's Zach Block for 3. That's good. A couple of threes for Zach Block, and it's an 18-3 lead for the Northern Colorado Bears with 10:35 to go in the first half. Miller hands it off for Pat McMahon. Takes it to the elbow and backs it out. Around to Miller. And then to Garacki, who's got the only field goal of the day through the first 9.5 minutes. Down to the left baseline. Here's Lekalot. Bounce down to the left block. Garacki spins right shoulder on Reilly, lays it up. No, but they draw the foul. And Brian Garacki will go to the line as Jaron Reilly picks up his first foul, and we go to a break. Bobcats have their back against the wall in the early going in the semifinals of the Big Sky Tournament. 10 minutes, 16 seconds to go in the first half. The Bears lead the Bobcats 18-3. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
It's the season of home improvement, and Williams Plumbing will help you tackle the big stuff. Are old roots clogging your sewer line? Williams has the tools to fix it. Have you checked your septic system lately? We have the knowledge and experience to maintain or repair it. Looking to install a yard hydrant? We'll do it promptly and professionally. Don't sweat the big stuff. Call Williams Plumbing today.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice the meat and cheese for my sub is a sight to behold. The layers of ham, salami, and pepperoni are even more glorious than the pink and orange layers of a sunrise. Yeah, the sun's pretty and all that, but in about 7 billion years it's going to explode, obliterating the earth and every living thing on it. And if there's no sun, there's no subs. Meanwhile, the only thing a sub ever obliterated was my hunger. Freshly sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Real milk is a nutrient-rich product. It contains 13 essential nutrients from vitamin A to zinc, all of which are important for a healthy immune system and overall wellness. That's 13 nutrients with seemingly endless benefits. Reach for milk and make every sip count. It has been, in a lot of ways, a dreamlike run over the last 3 years for Montana State, who have been all business here in Boise. But it has been a rude awakening against Northern Colorado in the early going here in the semifinals today. 10 minutes, 16 seconds to go in the first half. And Northern Colorado, the number 1 seed, leading Montana State 18-3. In a lot of ways, it's going to feel worse than it is. Cats have gotten some good shots that have just kind of rimmed out. You know, it's one thing when it just looks like it's a bad shot selection, contested shots. We've seen 3 or 4 of the three-point attempts kind of rim around the basket, just pop out, hitting the inside of the iron. MSU is an eyelash away from putting this thing together as Brian Garacki misses a free throw. Coming back out of the break. Garacki will line it up again. Hasn't gotten there to the line as much this year, but he's 91% coming into the game today. And he hits the second. So Garacki has all 4 points for Montana State as he tries to extend his collegiate career. The fifth-year senior who transferred up from D2 Point Loma when Coach Logie took the job 2 years ago. Northern Colorado with the ball as we reach the midway point of the first half. Denker out on the right wing. The transfer from Idaho. Bounces down to Wisney on the right baseline. Draws a double, kicks it out. Denker makes the catch, works his way into the lane, throws out to McCreary, out to Reynolds, back to McCreary, into the lane, pulls up with a runner. That's no good, and Pat McMahon wins the rebound. MSU's done enough defensively in a lot of ways in the early going here. Down to the right baseline, Garacki a jumper. Ooh, that's really short. That was not a good-looking shot, and Northern Colorado has the rebound. Bears with the ball to our right. McCreary lost it. It's out of bounds, and it's Bobcat ball. Northern Colorado is the number 1 offense in the Big Sky. 80 points a game, 52% from the field. But they are shooting 37% right now, and just 2 of 6 from deep. The Bobcats have done some good things defensively, but MSU is 1 for 11 from the field, trailing 18-4. McMahon into the lane, backing it down, turns, hooks. No, wow, looked like he got hit on the forearm. No call, Northern Colorado with a rebound. Denker out to the top, turns right around a screen, throws out to the left corner for Reynolds, who's playing with 2 fouls. Then gives it up to McCreary, who's going to take some time here. 9 minutes remaining first half. McCreary posting up against Miller. Throws out to the top, block, steps inside, his pass is picked off. Jed Miller with the steal, what a play. Out to Zephyr, down into the lane, throws out to Lekalot. Down into the post, spins, hooks, got to go. Jed Miller sparking the run, and a 2-point bucket by Sam Lekalot. And as the Bobcats have been punched in the mouth, letting the Bears know, they ain't hear no bell yet. 8:33 to go first half. 18-6, Northern Colorado leads. Wisney out on the left wing. Nearly taken away by Miller. Now we got a whistle and a jump ball. Sam Lekalot locking up the rock. It'll stay with Northern Colorado, but MSU using their defense to try to turn the tide. 18-6, Northern Colorado leads. 8:24 to go first half. The Bears to inbound. Here's Reilly out on the left wing. Takes it down to the left block. Picks up the dribble. Pivoting against Lekalot. Needs to get rid of it and does. Out to Hawthorne. 4 to shoot. Up to block 3 with 2. Block. Driving. Laying. No. But we have a shot clock violation. Good defense by Bryce Zephyr, and Montana State stepping up on the defensive end, bringing some life into the Bobcat contingent, which has filled up a good 3 or 4 sections over my left shoulder. Zephyr out to the left wing, takes it in the lane, stops, kicks out. Garacki with the dribble, picks it up and hands it off. Now to Miller, around to the top. Here's Lekalot to Garacki. Turns the corner into the mid-post. Stops on the right block. Lays it up. Nobody draws the foul. And Brian Garacki will go back to the line as Brock Wisney picks up his first foul. And MSU try to get this thing going. A chance to get it back to a 10-point game with Brian Garacki at the free throw line when we come back. Champ is pumped. The Bobcats ready to go. Do they have a big comeback in them? 7:49 to go in the first half. It's number 1 Northern Colorado leading 18-6 against the 5th-seeded Bobcats. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
The power of we believes in you. It advocates for you. It completes your circle. It makes sure you have the strongest circle possible. And with Intermountain Health in yours, you'll always have the care you need to live the healthiest life possible. That's the power of we. Intermountain Health.
Bobcat fans, support both your favorite team and Montana State students. When you shop at MSU bookstores, you help lower the price of course materials for Montana State students. MSU Bookstore is owned by MSU students and faculty and serves as the only not-for-profit campus bookstore in Montana. Shop online at msubookstore.org, at Bobcat Stadium on game days, or on campus in the Strand Union Building. Remember, Bobcat fans, when you shop at MSU Bookstore, all proceeds from your purchase go directly to lowering the cost of course materials for Montana State students.
The Ribbon Chop House was founded in 2001. Our ability to grow has come through our commitment to Rocky Mountain hospitality, a concept which incorporates a casual attitude with our high-level commitment to loyalty, safety, service, and quality food. At the Ribbon Chop House, our staff is dedicated to creating extraordinary experiences that raise the bar in each of our communities. Enjoy premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs. We look forward to sharing a little Rocky Mountain hospitality with you.
The unexpected happens every day. When it does, head to Kohl's and Kohl's.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where families come first. Bobcats have been punched in the mouth. They fell behind 15-0. It took them over 8 minutes to hit their first field goal of the day, and yet they're down by 12 with 7:49 to go in the first half, and certainly an opportunity here with Brian Garacki going to the line, but Montana State is going to have to hit some free throws here. 72% from the line this year, which is 5th in the conference, right in the middle of the pack of this 10-team Big Sky Conference, which has been around since the late 60s. This Big Sky tournament now in its 50th iteration. Montana State has won 5 Big Sky tournament championships. 1986 in Reno, 1996 in Bozeman behind Danny Sprinkle, and then in 22, 23, and 24 here in Boise. Ooh, Brian Garacki misses the first free throw, and will go to work again. That was another shot that just kind of felt like it didn't have the shooter's roll. Next shot, that's good. Garacki with 5 of the 7 points for Montana State, so still just an 11-point game after a start that was really about as bad as it could be. 7:42 to go in the first half. UNC leading 18-7. Wisney out on the left wing, lobs it down to Reynolds on the left baseline against Garacki. He skips it out to the right corner for Hawthorne. Working down the right baseline, runs into a double team and has to throw it out. 10 to shoot. Reilly on the drive, stops at the free throw line, pops with a J. That's no good. Rebound, tipped it out of bounds, and it's going to stay here with Northern Colorado. Jed Miller and Brian Garacki knocked it out of each other's hands. MSU had the advantage for that rebound, and that's kind of how this start in the first half has begun, with MSU getting in their own way. Into Wisney, around the block. Thought about a three. Zephyr deterred it. Around to the left wing for Hawthorne. Working his way down to the left baseline. He goes inside and he's blocked. Sam Lecolot said no. And the Bobcats come the other way. Here comes Pat McMahon. He throws it out to Miller. Back to McMahon. Again to Miller. Working on the left wing with a little space. Then to Lecolot. He fires a three. That's no good. And the rebound grab by Northern Colorado. MSU, of their 14 shots, they've taken 8 from the three-point line. They need to get some paint touches and something downhill. MSU still only down by 11. Hawthorne out of the right corner, puts up a contested three. That is in and out, no good. And the Bobcats have the rebound. Still a chance to make it a single-digit game with 6.5 to play in the first. Zephyr down to the left block. Goes up, lays it good off the glass. And despite spotting a 15-point lead to Northern Colorado, MSU now down by 9. And the Bobcat contingent coming to their feet early with 6:20 to go in the first half. They don't want this run to be over yet. Really a drive and a kick. Hawthorne weaves into the lane. His pass tipped by Jed Miller. Thrown ahead into the front court. Here's Miller. Stops to the rack. and fouled. What an effort by Jed Miller. Tipped it once, won the foot race against Zach Block to tip it again into the backcourt, and he draws the foul and will go to the line. What an effort by the third-year junior from Southern California. He's not the biggest guy on the floor in size, but he's certainly bringing one of the biggest hearts onto the floor. And Jed Miller at the free throw line. His first is good. His first point of the day, and for Jed Miller, hitting two of the biggest free throws of this three-peat for Montana State when he knocked down the clinching free throws at the end of the semifinal game against Sacramento State last year. His next shot is good. Miller with a couple of free throws, the 91% free throw shooter, and MSU trails 18-11. They put together an 8-0 run. What an effort by the Bobcat crowd that has made the 8-hour drive out to Boise. 6 minutes left in the first half. This game already feels like we're in the final 2 minutes. Jackson working out on the left wing, hands it off for Reilly. Around to the top for Denker. He's on the drive, stops on the block, hands it off. Jackson kicks it back out. Denker working the baseline, pulls up with a long-range jumper, and it's good. It's all right. Quinn Denker with a mid-range J. The low percentage shot, one of the most inefficient shots you can have in basketball, and sometimes they fall. 9-point deficit for the Cats. MSU with the ball to our left. Zephyr with the dribble against Hawthorne. Throws up to Mullins, around to Ogbong Polo on the right wing. Lobs into the post. Like-a-lot makes a contested catch, lays it. No! And the rebound grabbed by Northern Colorado. Oh, that was close. MSU has been right there multiple times offensively. Denker into the lane, bounces into the right corner. Reynolds for three. That's good. Langston Reynolds pouring it home. Northern Colorado is hunting their second NCAA tournament berth in program history. Zephyr throws out to Lekalot. Back to Zephyr in the left corner. He tries a three. Oh, and it swirls out. Boy, a day late and $1 short at the rim for the Cats. Here's Hawthorne. Inside to the cup, finger roll up and in. Boy, that's a big swing. Isaiah Hawthorne with 4 points now. 25-11. Northern Colorado leads. 4:38 to go, first half, and a timeout called by Montana State. So the Cats had an 8-0 run, and Northern Colorado responds with a 7-0 run of their own. 25-11. UNC leading. 4:38 to go in the first half. Not a ton of whistles in this game. And you can see both teams kind of running on fumes here. They are giving it everything they got, because if you don't, the season is over. The Bozeman Come On In Hotel and Suites, the proud sponsor of MSU Athletics and the Montana State Alumni Association. The Come On In allows you to escape the ordinary while enjoying their numerous hotel and guest room amenities. Visit ComeOnIn.com to book your stay today. On the floor for Montana State, Jed Miller, Tyler Patterson, Jay Mullins, Sam Lekalot, and Max Ogbong Polo. Tyler Patterson in his career here in Boise has gone 12-1 with the lone loss being in the championship game against Eastern Washington in 2021. The next year the Bobcats came back with an all-business attitude and have rattled off 3 straight conference titles. Need to come back here in the semifinals to keep it rolling. Lekalot, his pass tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with MSU. Cats catch a break because that was a miscommunication, and if Denker didn't touch it, it would have been a turnover by Montana State. Lekalot to the bench. Chika Naduka into the game. Another great example for this program, a guy who's had erratic minutes but has stayed ready when his opportunity has come. Ogbong Polo draws a foul. Tayshawn Jackson picks up his second. So Northern Colorado has run into a little bit of foul trouble here. That's the 7th team foul for Northern Colorado with 4:26 to go in the first half. So the Cats shooting some free throws down the stretch here. Max Ogbong Polo going to the line. He had 8 points last night, 3 rebounds at the quarterfinal win. The front end of the 1-and-1. That's good. That was a really needed free throw for MSU. They're now 5 of 7 from the free throw line, but just 3 of 17 from the field and 1 of 9 from 3. Next free throw is through. 2 points for Ogbong Polo today. 25-13, and despite the abysmal shooting percentages for MSU, the Cats still within striking distance. Down by 12 with 4:20 to go in the first half. There is a lot of basketball left in this first semifinal. This pass is tipped by Naduka. Loose on the floor, out of bounds, and it's Bobcat ball. Chika Naduka bringing a spark off the bench on the defensive end. And MSU has kept the defensive intensity up, and that has been the source of some of the slight momentum they have grabbed at times in this game. Bobcats with the ball to our left. Naduka hands it off for Mullins. Throws around to the right wing for Miller. Bounce pass over to the right side for Naduka. Facing up, now gets into the post. Back to the basket, right on the right block. Back it in and down. Pivoting around, steps through with the left hand, left it short. Good defense by Denker. Low percentage shot, Northern Colorado with a rebound. Denker throws it inside, take it away. Max Ogbonkpolo with the theft. The Bobcats into the front court as the Bears get back quickly. MSU with the ball down by 12. They get into their offensive set with 3.5 to play in the first half. Ogbonkpolo crosses over into the lane, draws a bump, no call, turns around with a fall away Jay, and it's good. And the Bobcats finally finding some touch. Max Ogbonkpolo with 4 points. The sixth-year senior, one of the top recruits out of California 6 years ago, trying to extend his career with his fourth different program. We got a 10-point game. Bears with a lead in the ball. Reilly against Patterson, crosses over into the lane, gets down to the left block, goes up, banks it home. Tough finish by Jaron Reilly, who's so crafty underneath. The 6'3" point guard from Sydney, Australia, has 6 points. First team all-conference member for a reason. Back to a 12-point advantage for the Bears. MSU with the ball. Out to Mullins in the right corner. Works the right baseline against Denker. Backing in with a post-up. Into the paint now. Shoulder to chest. Turns. Hooks. Short. Got his own rebound. Back up with the left hand. No! And then a foul on Northern Colorado. All right. Quinn Denker with his first. And that'll send Montana State to the line, I believe, depending on when they called it. Hey, the officiating in this game has gone both ways. Let's take a break from the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. 2:38 to go in the first half. Northern Colorado leads Montana State 27-15, but the Cats go into the free throw line when we come back. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
From our 1946 roots providing lumber for Yellowstone National Park to our current headquarters in Bozeman, we at Simpkins-Hallen believe in building the Gallatin Valley's future while continuing to honor its past. Contractors large and small benefit from our decades of experience and our extensive network of suppliers. We can source the materials you need, no matter the project. For all your building needs, go to where long-standing traditions have met with quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins-Hallen, a Montana tradition among builders since 1946.
Ambient Air Solutions wants to take a moment to show our gratitude and to say thank you. Thank you to our frontline workers. Thank you to our doctors, nurses, and EMTs. Thank you to all the volunteers. And thank you to the Gallatin County community. Ambient Air Solutions is so grateful for your support for over 12 years. We are so blessed to live in such a beautiful place. Ambient Air Solutions is here for all your heating and cooling needs. Call us at 406-577-1818 to schedule your service today. Ambient Air Solutions, simplifying heating and cooling.
At First Interstate Bank, it's about supporting our communities and cheering on our teams. Thank you for letting us be your trusted community bank for more than 50 years. First Interstate Bank, built for you. Member FDIC. Well, it's a glass half full, glass half empty situation to begin this one. 2:38 to go in the first half. You're in the semifinals of the Big Sky Tournament. Northern Colorado leads Montana State 27-15. Bobcats fell behind 15-0 to start this game. But in a lot of ways, they've done enough defensively. They forced Northern Colorado into 7 turnovers already. They only average 11 a game. But the Bobcats offensively have gotten nothing. They're 4 of 20, 20%, 1 of 9 from 3. So you can say it's been a brutal start offensively, which would be true. But Bobcats certainly have an opportunity to get some shots to fall because they've taken some really good shots and made some good decisions. And in a lot of ways, you got to have just some trust that the shot will eventually fall. Jay Mullins hits front end of a 1-and-1, and his second free throw falls as well. The Bobcats use the free throw line to stick around, trailing by 10. 27-17, 2:35 to go in the first half. Northern Colorado trying to win all three matchups against the Bobcats this season as Miller tips it free, and it's recovered by Reynolds. Boy, Jed Miller has been a menace on the defensive side of the ball. Denker into the lane, turns around with a lefty hook, got it to go off the glass. Boy, that is a crafty play by the fourth-year senior Quinn Denker out of San Jose, California. 12-point lead for Northern Colorado. It's been real even now since that 15-0 run to start the game for the Bears. The Duke at the free throw line, hands off for Mullins. Picks up the dribble at the elbow and throws back to the perimeter for Miller. Over to the left wing for Duduka. Under 2 to play in the first half. Here to Mullins. His three. That's off the front iron. No good. And Montana State is 1 for 10 from 3 in the first half. UNC with the ball in a 12-point lead. Bounce to Denker. Taken away. Jed Miller with another miraculous steal again. Wow, he's been a monster. Now the Bobcats need to convert it into offense. Trailing 29-17. McMahon into the post, down to the right block, puts it up off the glass. That's no good, and McCreary with a rebound. Reynolds with good defense as he works with 2 fouls. Handoff on the left wing for Hawthorne. Up to the top for Reynolds. Around to McCreary. Takes it to the top. He tries a 3. That's no good. The Bobcats have the rebound. Still down 29-17 with 1:10 to go in the first half. They could still make it a single-digit game. Miller, topside 3. That's no good. And Northern Colorado has the rebound. 1 minute remaining in the first half. Denker with a head of steam against Duduka into the lane. Missed the shot. The Bobcats have the rebound. Under a minute to play in the first half, trailing by 12. MSU with the ball. Ogbonk Polo to the rack. Lays it short off the glass. And Northern Colorado has the rebound. Bobcats now, they're getting some opportunities here. Kind of battle back. And now Northern Colorado trying to slow it down. And a timeout called by UNC. Steve Smiley can feel this thing kind of slipping downhill a little bit. So timeout for Northern Colorado. 38 seconds to go in the first half. 21 seconds on the shot clock. There's a 29-17 lead for UNC. One of the hallmarks of this three-peat for Montana State has been their offense. Last year they scored 250 points in their 3 games. It was their best 3-game stretch offensively in this tournament ever. But tonight, they have not had that same offense. In a lot of ways, have regressed back to the mean, trailing 29-17 with 38 seconds to go in the first. But even with all that, this game is far, far from over. I mean, it's got to feel right now like the weight of the world is on your shoulders if you're on that Bobcat bench. But I assure you, you're only a 3 away from changing the complexion of this thing in a hurry. 30 seconds left of the first half. Jaron Reilly with a basketball on the dribble on the left wing. Guarded by Jed Miller. Reilly up to the top. Turns around to the right wing. Accelerates down to the right block. Pulls up with a jumper. That is no good. Rebound tipped and won by MSU. 15 seconds left in the first half. Trailing by 12. The Bobcats have the ball with the shot clock off. They've hit only 4 field goals in the first half. 8 seconds left. Mullins, topside 3. It's up. It's short. Long rebound. The Bobcats track it down. Still 3 seconds left. Mullins with 2. Mullins puts up the runner. No, and he missed it again. What a tough break for Montana State. And tonight has not been their night. What a frustrating first half for MSU as they go 4 for 26 from the field. They shoot 15%, and yet they are still within striking distance, down by 12 at the half. This thing is far from over despite the worst offensive half of the season. Let's take a break in the semifinals of the 2025 Big Sky Tournament from the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Northern Colorado 29, Montana State 17. Back after this, you're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield.
Montana Fence, located in Billings, Bozeman, Great Falls, and Kalispell, is Montana's largest fencing superstore. Get everything you need for your fencing projects at rock bottom pricing. Low prices on all styles of farm fence, chain link, vinyl privacy, ornamental iron, cedar pickets, continuous panels, wood privacy. We have it all. Quality materials at truckload prices. Let the experts at Montana Fence help you plan your next project. Whether you use our team or do it yourself, check out Montana Fence.
No matter how far you may go, there's always one just down the road. Town Pump, who pump it up, pump it up.
Town of Pump is excited to once again sponsor the Brawl of the Wild Rivalry Series between Montana State and the University of Montana. Look for special Brawl of the Wild promotions throughout the year at your local Town Pump.
Town Pump, right down the road, pump it up, oh yeah.
Hi, I'm Bill Coffey, CEO of Stockman Bank. As a family-owned and operated community bank, we are focused only on serving the people, businesses, and communities of Montana. And now we are proud to be named one of the world's best banks by Forbes. We thank our customers for the trust you have put in us to meet your financial needs. If you don't know us, stop by and discover the difference at Stockman Bank, Montana's brand of banking, member FDIC.
At Intermountain Health, we believe life is a circle. May yours surround you with insight, a healthy perspective, trust, and reassurance. The belief that our differences aren't that different, and compassion just when you need it most. Life is a circle. May yours help you live the healthiest life possible. Intermountain Health.
Oh, one of the hallmarks of the last 2 years for this Bobcat team has been faith. Faith in the process, faith in your teammates, faith in that if you continue to stick to the plan, eventually it will all come together, and that faith has been heavily tested through the first 20 minutes of this 2025 Big Sky semifinal. My name is Keaton Gillogly. Pleasure to be with you tonight. A quick hello to my good friend, the Commissioner Gabriel Rios, tuned in today. Bobcats trailing 29-17 against Northern Colorado. 17 points in the first half for Montana State. An absolutely abysmal performance offensively for MSU. 15% from the field, 4 of 26 from the field, 1 of 12 from the three-point line. They have gone 8 of 10 from the free throw line, which has helped a little bit, but boy, that was a tough watch for Montana State. Jay Mullins went 0 for 7 from the field with just 2 points. Nobody has hit more than 1 field goal in this first half. That's the glass half empty perspective. The glass half full perspective is the Bobcats are taking good shots. They're getting good looks, and they're putting these shots up where it's kind of just rimming out, not getting that shooter's roll. It's not like we're seeing them lay a bunch of bricks and it just looks like they're totally inside their head here. We did see them force it a little bit at the end of that first half, but you can kind of understand why when you look at the numbers. The other reason to have a glass half full attitude to this game is that Northern Colorado shot under 12% less than their per game average from the field. They're usually 52% from the field. They went 40% in that first half. They average almost 9 threes a game. They had just 3 in that first half. The Bobcats forced Northern Colorado into 8 turnovers, and they racked up 6 steals, led by Jed Miller, who had 3 steals off the bench and has really provided a heck of a spark on the defensive side. And so we have seen some really good things from MSU on the defensive end of the floor. Will it be enough for Montana State when inevitably this offense gets going again? The question is, will this offense get going this year or next year? Because if it doesn't get going in the next 20 minutes, you'll have to wait until the fall of 2025 to get back out and avenge this thing. And at that time, this will be a drastically different roster. Tyler Patterson and Sam Leckelot have been 2 of the most golden legends during this golden age for Montana State. We'll see if they and the rest of this crew can figure something out heading into the second half. All right, let's take a break. At halftime, it's Northern Colorado 29, Montana State 17. Back after this, you're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
The Gallatin Valley is thriving, and Bozeman is not only a destination for families to live, work, and play, it's also a destination for businesses. The Bozeman Area Chamber of Commerce is a great way to get involved in Bozeman's thriving business community. The Bozeman Chamber Economic Partnership assists existing businesses through expansion, grows new companies in our community, and attracts fresh opportunities for Gallatin County. Bozeman, our community, a jewel among the Northern Rockies. For more information, go to bozemanchamber.com.
At Montana State University, students shape signature experiences that take them across the state and into local communities. MSU is dedicated to its land-grant mission, integrating transformational learning, discovery, and service that improves lives. You'll find our students teaching across Montana, conducting research in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, or even creating small shelter prototypes to address homelessness. Montana State University. Think outside.
There is a local ranch just outside of Boise, Idaho, that has masterfully bred Japanese Wagyu cattle with American Angus cattle. Now this American-style Wagyu beef is available to you and your family. Rosars presents Snake River American-style Wagyu beef. Snake River Farms beef is famously found in many exclusive five-star steak restaurants. Snake River Farms, available at your local neighborhood Rosars.
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide much-needed life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. That's why at Firehouse Subs, they make their subs differently, because their subs can make a difference. Their family of restaurant owners and local crews are proud to continue to serve you the hot, hearty, life-saving subs you crave every day. In fact, it's never been easier to grab their subs to go with Rapid Rescue to Go. Save time when you order online at firehousesubs.com or on their app. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Montana State University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
A 17-point first half has put the Bobcats back against the wall. But in a run that has been filled with magical moments, well, they are set up for a pretty magical second half if they can find a way to get this thing done and come from behind, trailing by just 12, despite only hitting 4 field goals in the first half. Montana State trailing 29-17 at the break. We're about 7 minutes away from the start of the second half. And before we go any further, let's pause 10 seconds for network station identification. You're listening to Montana State basketball.
AM 1450, KMMS, and K236CY Bozeman, 1340 KPRK Livingston, where Montana talks.
My name is Keaton Gillogly. Bryn Chalmers is back in the studios as our producer tonight. We're in the first of the 2 semifinals for the men right now. Idaho and Montana playing after this one. We already have the Bobcats and the Grizzlies matching up in the women's side of the championship on the in the Big Sky tournament. So Bobcats try to do their part to paint the championship nothing but the state of Montana. We'll see if they can find a way to come from behind here as the Bobcats are still in the locker room with about 6 minutes before we head into the second half. See every pulse-pounding, buzzer-beating play in astounding detail with a patient experience and second to none, experienced doctors and advanced technology. Vance Thompson Vision, the official LASIK cataract surgeon of the Bobcats, is your home for laser vision correction. Learn more at VanceThompsonVision.com. All right, we will take another break. We're getting set for the second half. Montana State trailing 29-17 against Northern Colorado at halftime. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
You are a Bobcat fan, and your seat matters. Section 108, right in the middle. And a perfect view of the fast break, alley-oop, and slam dunk. At Kendall Ford of Bozeman, we're a proud supporter of Montana State Athletics. We're big fans of teamwork, dedication, and helping customers find the best deal on the perfect vehicle to fit their needs. Where you sit matters, as in the driver's seat. Get started at KendallFordBozeman.com. Kendall, let's start something great.
Open your new Stockman Bank account anytime, anywhere with online account opening.
Now you can open an account in minutes on your laptop, tablet, or mobile phone. It's convenient, simple, and secure. Open your new account today at stockmanbank.com. Then add our online and mobile banking services so you can manage your money when, where, and how you want. Stockman Bank, Montana's brand of banking. Member FDIC.
No matter how far you may go, there's always one just down the road. Town Pump, who pump it up, pump it up.
Town of Pump is excited to once again sponsor the Brawl of the Wild Rivalry Series between Montana State and the University of Montana. Look for special Brawl of the Wild promotions throughout the year at your local Town Pump.
Town Pump, right down the road, pump it up, oh yeah.
At Montana State University, students shape signature experiences that take them across the state and into local communities. MSU is dedicated to its land-grant mission, integrating transformational learning, discovery, and service that improves lives. You'll find our students teaching across Montana, conducting research in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, or even creating small shelter prototypes to address homelessness. Montana State University. Think outside.
Back to First Interstate Bank broadcast position, courtside at Idaho Central Arena, where Montana State has made a lot of memories, and they are primed to make some great memories heading into the second half, trailing 29-17 against the Bears in the semifinals. Meanwhile, the women got things done, a 75-42 win against Idaho State in their semifinals, and they are heading back to the Big Sky Tournament Championship game tomorrow at 3 p.m. with a 2:45 tip-off between the Bobcats and the Grizzlies. Montana, the biggest upset in Boise so far, taken down at Northern Arizona in the semifinals earlier this afternoon. Matt Koenig had 29 points in the ball game. Bobcats trying to find some shot making as we head to the second half after they went just 4 for 26 in the first half. We've got one more break. When we come back, we'll start the second half. Northern Colorado 29, Montana State 17. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
From our 1946 roots providing lumber for Yellowstone National Park to our current headquarters in Bozeman, we at Simpkins-Hallen believe in building the Gallatin Valley's future while continuing to honor its past. Contractors large and small benefit from our decades of experience and our extensive network of suppliers. We can source the materials you need, no matter the project. For all your building needs, go to where long-standing traditions have met with quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins-Hallen, a Montana tradition among builders since 1946.
Ambient Air Solutions wants to take a moment to show our gratitude and to say thank you. Thank you to our frontline workers. Thank you to our doctors, nurses, and EMTs. Thank you to all the volunteers. And thank you to the Gallatin County community. Ambient Air Solutions is so grateful for your support for over 12 years. We are so blessed to live in such a beautiful place. Ambient Air Solutions is here for all your heating and cooling needs. Call us at 406-577-1818 to schedule your service today. Ambient Air Solutions, simplifying heating and cooling.
It's the season of home improvement, and Williams Plumbing will help you tackle the big stuff. Are old roots clogging your sewer line? Williams has the tools to fix it. Have you checked your septic system lately? We have the knowledge and experience to maintain or repair it. Looking to install a yard hydrant? We'll do it promptly and professionally. Don't sweat the big stuff. Call Williams Plumbing today.
The Gallatin Valley is thriving, and Bozeman is not only a destination for families to live, work, and play, it's also a destination for businesses. The Bozeman Area Chamber of Commerce is a great way to get involved in Bozeman's thriving business community. The Bozeman Chamber Economic Partnership assists existing businesses through expansion, grows new companies in our community, and attracts fresh opportunities for Gallatin County. Bozeman, our community, a jewel among the Northern Rockies. For more information, go to bozemanchamber.com.
It's easy to have faith during the good times, but can you have faith after one of the worst offensive performances by the Bobcats this season? MSU trailing 29-17 against Northern Colorado as we prepare for the second half of the 2025 semifinals in the Big Sky Tournament here in Boise. The Bobcats 4 of 26 from the field. They shot 15%. They went 1 of 12 from the three-point line. That's the glass half empty. Northern Colorado shot just 40%, and a team that averages 80 points per game scored just 29 in that first half. That's the glass half full. And Montana State gets the ball here, down by 12 to open up the second half. You can make this a 9 or 10-point game within the first minute of the second half, and if that's the case, game on. Bobcats, during this 10-game winning streak in the Big Sky tournament, have averaged 79.8 points per game and have been held under 70 just twice in those 10 games. Will this offense regress to the mean? Find out as we are ready to go for the second half of play, the first of the two semifinals on the men's side of the Big Sky tournament. Women have already won earlier today, and they are into the championship game tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Daniel Sally will be on the call at 2:45. Will it be another Bobcat doubleheader tomorrow night? We'll find out in 20 minutes. Jay Mullins inbounds it into Bryce Zepp for the backcourt, and we are underway in the second half with the Bobcats trailing by 12. Sam Leichelot hands it off for Zephyr. He turns the corner down to the mid-post. Kicks it out for Tyler Patterson. Bounce to Sam Leichelot on the right elbow. Hand off for Mullins, turning left around a screen to the top of the key. Now to Leichelot on the right wing, 10 to shoot. Leichelot down to the right block, back to the basket against Wisney. Kicks it out with 7 to shoot. Here's Mullins, steps up for 3. Off the front iron, no, and Northern Colorado has the rebound, and Jay Mullins has begun this evening 0 for 8 from the field as he tries to avoid the end of his collegiate career. Reynolds steps in with the left hand and lays it in. It's a 14-point lead for Northern Colorado. 31-17 MSU. Zephyr down to the right baseline with his back to the basket. Throws out to Patterson, then to Leichelot, right elbow. Back to Patterson. Around to Zephyr, works the right baseline, gets in deep, reverse layup, and it's good. Bryce Zephyr putting another clip on the highlight reel with a reverse left-handed layup. Zephyr now with 4 points. He had a couple of highlight reel dunks last night in the victory, one of which made SportsCenter's top 10. 31-19, Northern Colorado leads. Wisney out at the top, guarded by Ogbongbolo. Hands off for Hawthorne, who was quiet in the first half. Working on Ogbongbolo down to the mid-post. Fall away Jay, high arcing shot, airballed it short, out of bounds, and it's the Bobcats' ball. Be happy letting him take that shot. Hawthorne, who went off for 29 points in the quarterfinals, is just 2 for 7 from the field. MSU trailing 31-19, 18:25 to go in the second half. Zephyr out to the left elbow. Hands it off for Patterson. Back to Zephyr at the top of the key. Zephyr now spins into the lane and throws it back out to Leichelot. 10 to shoot. Leichelot down to the right block, back to the basket. Kicks it out to Patterson. He works his way down to the left baseline. Step back left side 2. That's no good. Reynolds the rebound as Leichelot got knocked off his feet. And here comes Northern Colorado. Out to the left corner. Hawthorne for 3. And it's good. Not much margin for error left. A 15-point lead for Northern Colorado with 18 minutes to go in the second half. Zephyr at the top gives it to Leichelot. Hands it off for Patterson. He rises and fires. Comes up short on the 3 ball, and Northern Colorado has the rebound. UNC, they've got a chance to put some early daggers in here in the second half. Reilly against Ogbongbolo. Kicks it out to the left corner. Reynolds on the drive into the lane. Goes up with a right-handed hook shot, and it's good. Langston Reynolds a little hampered by foul trouble in the first half, getting going with the 2 early buckets in the second half. Just like that, a 17-point lead for Northern Colorado. Zephyr throws out to Mullins. Bobcats need some offense. Into the left corner. Zephyr for 3. That's good. The second 3 of the day comes at the 17-minute mark of the second half. 3 sponsored by Wendy's. 36-22. Northern Colorado leads with 16:50 to go in the ballgame. Reilly throws to the left wing. Block bounces down to Wisney. Guarded by Zephyr. Backing it out. Throws up to the top for Block. Dribbles right. Over to the right wing. Around to Reilly. 8 to shoot. Reilly with 5. Steps inside. Tries the 3. That's no good. And they swallow the whistle as Reilly jumped into Ogbongbolo. That's some good officiating right there. That was Reilly at the end of the shot clock trying to draw a foul. He jumped into Ogbongbolo. He jumped forward. And it's a good job by the officials. 16:30 to go in the ball game. Montana State with the basketball moving from left to right. Their largest run tonight was 8-0, and that was early in the first half after they fell behind by 15. Like a lot out on the right elbow. Hands it off for Miller at the top. Goes back to Ogbonkpolo. He rises and fires and connects. Max Ogbonkpolo from 3 on the left wing. Ogbonkpolo now with 7 today. And just like that, it's back to an 11-point deficit. Oh, this magical run ain't done yet. 16 minutes to go in the ball game. Bounce down to Wisney, left baseline for the Bears. He throws it up top side, and they call a foul. Lekalot apparently got the arm of Wisney, which is why that was a bad pass. So the foul goes on Lekalot, his first, and we go to a break. MSU not backing down yet. They've already hit 3 field goals in the second half. They hit 4 total in the first half. And the Bobcat offense trying to come back to life, trailing by 11. In the 2025 Big Sky semifinals, 15 minutes, 55 seconds to go in the game. Northern Colorado leads Montana State 36-25. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
Ambient Air Solutions wants to take a moment to show our gratitude and to say thank you. Thank you to our frontline workers. Thank you to our doctors, nurses, and EMTs. Thank you to all the volunteers. And thank you to the Gallatin County community. Ambient Air Solutions is so grateful for your support for over 12 years. We are so blessed to live in such a beautiful place. Ambient Air Solutions is here for all your heating and cooling needs. Call us at 406-577-1818 to schedule your service today. Ambient Air Solutions, simplifying heating and cooling.
There is a local ranch just outside of Boise, Idaho, that has masterfully bred Japanese Wagyu cattle with American Angus cattle. Now this American-style Wagyu beef is available to you and your family. Rosars presents Snake River American-style Wagyu beef. Snake River Farms beef is famously found in many exclusive 5-star steak restaurants. Snake River Farms, available at your local neighborhood Rosars.
It's the season of home improvement, and Williams Plumbing will help you tackle the big stuff. Are old roots clogging your sewer line? Williams has the tools to fix it. Have you checked your septic system lately? We have the knowledge and experience to maintain or repair it. Looking to install a yard hydrant? We'll do it promptly and professionally. Don't sweat the big stuff. Call Williams Plumbing today.
Know what's below? Tap, click, or call 811 before you dig. Brought to you by Montana811.org. Well, it feels a lot worse than it is right now. It has felt a lot like salt in a wound, but Bobcats are well within striking distance. 15 minutes, 54 seconds to go in the second half. It's Northern Colorado 36, Montana State 25. So the Bobcats down by 11. 2025 semifinals of the Big Sky Tournament, and the Bobcats 10-game Big Sky Tournament winning streak is on the line. The offense starting to come back to life after knocking down just 4 field goal attempts in the first half. They're now 3 for 6 in the second half with a couple of Wendy's free balls, now 2 for 4 from deep in the second. Of course, Northern Colorado, the top dogs offensively in the league, 3 for 5 to start the second half as well. Northern Colorado will inbound the basketball after Sam Lekalot picked up a defensive foul. So Jaron Reilly down to the baseline. The Bobcats getting orchestrated defensively. Lob into Wisney. He works the left baseline, goes inside, and lays it home. Wisney having a nice game today. He's now got 6. 38-25. Northern Colorado in front. Bobcats with the ball. It was a 15-0 run by Northern Colorado that started the night. Here's Pat McMahon down to the left block. Backing in against Hawthorne. Gets inside into the paint. Has to kick it out. It's knocked free by Reynolds. The Bobcats turn it over. Zach Block the other way. 3-on-2. Out to Reilly. Thought about a 3, but Miller hustles there. Given to Block with a behind-the-back pass. Then up to Reilly, who's pestered by Jed Miller. What an effort Miller's put in on the defensive side as he tips it free to Ogbonkpolo. And ahead to Miller. Makes the catch. Lays it up and in. Jed Miller, a menace on the defensive side. And Max Ogbonkpolo with the assist. Sponsored by Aware Mental Health Services. 4 points now for Jed Miller. Still an 11-point lead for Northern Colorado. 15 minutes to go in the game. Really down on the right block into the lane. Puts it up. Off-balance shot. That's no good. Reynolds comes out of traffic with the offensive rebound. He's doubled. Bounce pass underneath, and Wisney rises up and lays it home. Wisney with 8. And whistles. The ball gets away out of traffic. Garacki into the game. Pat McMahon to the bench. Garacki hit the first field goal of the day. He scored the first points of the evening for Montana State at the 11:44 mark of the first half. It took over 8 minutes for Montana State to score today. Currently trailed by 13 with just under 15 minutes to go in the game. Zephyr at the free throw line, down to the right block. Swarm kicks it out for Miller. He works the right baseline and then comes back. Out to the right corner. Here's Zephyr. Working on Wisney. Crosses over, gets in deep, and draws the foul. A little bit of bump from a Wisney. Second foul on Brock Wisney. And that'll help reset the shot clock, which was down to 8, and resets to 20. 40-27, Northern Colorado leads. Trying to come for the champs. Zephyr into Garacki. Works the right baseline, down to the right block against Hawthorne. Gets in deep, puts up the reverse layup, no. Tipped back by Ogbongbolo, no. And then a foul as Ogbongbolo went for the rebound. Quinn Denker grabbed Ogbongbolo's arm, and Denker picks up his second foul. Boy, Ogbongbolo was trying to tip that back with his arm was grabbed, and they're calling that on the floor. It was a shot attempt. It's going as a shot attempt. It would have been in the box score. The Bobcats inbound it down 13. Ogbongbolo posting against Reynolds. Turns, fall away jumper, partially blocked, and Northern Colorado comes away with a basketball. 14 minutes to go in the game. Hawthorne hands it off. Here's Reilly. Back out to Hawthorne. Steps to his left, turns down a 3, drives to the rack, block, and they foul. Call foul. Ooh, Sam Lecolot called for it, his second. I think you have an argument to the opposite of that call. That'll send Hawthorne to the line. The Bobcats begin this game in a 15-point deficit. Hawthorne misses the first free throw. You're not allowed to, but if you remove the 15-0 run to start the night, the Bobcats are actually outscoring Northern Colorado. Down by 13. Next shot by Hawthorne is good. He splits the pair at the free throw line. He has 8 points. MSU down 41-27. 13:55 to go in the second half. Montana State has had a few opportunities to take a bite out of this deficit, and now we've got a foul as Hawthorne runs over Miller. Foul on Hawthorne is his first. Just ran right through Jed Miller. It's an easy call. The officiating feels like it's cleaned up a little bit after it felt like a choppy start. Patterson to inbound to the left sideline. Gets it into Lecolot at the top. Hands off for Garacki. Dribbles inside. He goes to the rack. Lays it up with the right hand. No good. And Northern Colorado has the rebound. Reynolds moving from right to left. And the Pats offense starting to stagnate again. Reynolds at the free throw line. Throws out to the right wing for Marcel McCreary. He throws back to Reynolds. Works his way in on Garacki. Gets down to the right block and a foul. Garacki grabbed his arm. First foul on Brian Garacki, and Langston Reynolds will head to the line. Bobcat basketball is presented by your locally owned McDonald's restaurants. Download the app and earn free food. Order from anywhere and even skip the line with convenient curbside pickup. Bobcats started all right offensively here in the second half. They've already matched their field goal total from the first half. They had 4 in the first half, now 4 makes in the second half. Reynolds hits his first free throw as Northern Colorado tries to reach some new heights. They are 2 wins away from matching their program record of 26 wins in the season. They are 24-8. Played Colorado twice with a double overtime loss. Free throw is good. They had some tight losses against teams like St. Thomas, North Dakota State, both very good out of the Summit League. And they went 15-3 in the Big Sky this year. It's a 16-point deficit for MSU with just over 13 minutes to go in the game, and it's starting to get late. Out to Lecolot at the top, around to Mullins. He dribbled it off his foot. McCreary with the loose ball. He picks it up, and Northern Colorado is coming the other way. Bears starting to feel it now as we hit the 13-minute mark of the second half. McCreary to Reynolds. Bounce to the top. Around to the right wing. Bounce underneath. Reynolds puts up a little floater, airballed it. Caught by Jackson, 8 to shoot. Out to Denker, 7. Denker into the lane, 5. Tip free, the Bobcats have the steal. Garacki to Miller on the left sideline. Slows it down wisely. Bobcats down 43-27. And a foul away from the ball on Jackson as he got tied up with Sam Lekalot. So Tayshaw Jackson just picked up his third foul. Chikaduka coming into the ball game. MSU still shooting 22% from the field and just 3 of 16 from 3. Zephyr and Ongbong-Polo with 7 points apiece. Garacki with 5. Miller to inbound. Lobs it in, and Tyler Patterson makes the catch near the half-court line. Here's Naduka now. Pivoting out on the left wing. Hands it off for Mullins. Back down the Naduka left baseline. Facing up, now posting up into the lane. Tries to step through, hooks it up with the right hand, rimming around. Oh, and it fell off. And it's been that kind of night where the Bobcats just have not gotten the shooter's roll. And then Logie just picked up a technical as Northern Colorado was going the other way. So Coach Logie picks up the technical foul. And the Bobcats on the cusp of unraveling. Jaron Reilly will go to the line for the technical free throws. The first is good. Logie is not afraid to bark. He has picked up his share of technical fouls over the last 2 years at the helm of Montana State. Reilly misses the second. Jaron Reilly now with 7 points today. He was the Big Sky Player of the Week in the final week of the regular season. Notable as he was the 14th different player this year to earn Big Sky Player of the Week honors. It was really very even, lots of parity in the Big Sky this year. But Northern Colorado, one of the best, sharing the title with Montana. Reynolds loses it, and Jed Miller comes out of traffic again. Bobcats with the ball down 44-27, 11:50 to go in the game. Garacki gets inside, lays it up, and in. That time he got a bit of a shooter's roll. Garacki playing for his basketball life. And the Oregonian senior now with 7 points. 11:35 left of the ball game. Northern Colorado leads 44-29. They won't be afraid to use some clock now. Reilly into the lane, down to the left block, takes it to the baseline, facing up against Naduka, and a foul. Chikaduka picking up the foul, his second. Logie, after picking up his technical, just throwing a steely-eyed stare at the officials. Let's step aside for the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. 11:21 to go in the ball game, and Montana State trailing 44-29 in the semifinals of the Big Sky Tournament. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
Hello, tomorrow. We may not know exactly what you've got in store for us, for our routines and our normals. But here's the thing. Turns out, we've got this. We haven't seen everything, but we have seen ourselves be more ready for whatever you bring than we thought we would be. So when it comes to tomorrow, bring on the day. First Interstate, built for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Visit us at firstinterstate.com.
You are a Bobcat fan, and your seat matters. Section 108, right in the middle. And a perfect view of the fast break, alley-oop, and slam dunk. At Kendall Ford of Bozeman, we're a proud supporter of Montana State Athletics. We're big fans of teamwork, dedication, and helping customers find the best deal on the perfect vehicle to fit their needs. Where you sit matters, as in the driver's seat. Get started at KendallFordBozeman.com. Kendall, let's start something great.
Here's to home. Here's to Northwest Crossing, where kids can be kids. And adults can also be kids. And new neighbors feel like old friends. Welcome to Bozeman, Montana's newest master planned community. Life here comes with nearby, top-rated Bozeman schools, on-site eateries and retail, office space, parks, trails, and so much more, including new homes from the 500s to 800s, exclusively built by Williams Homes. Learn more at nwxbzn.com. nwxbzn.com.
Town Pump is a proud sponsor of the Brawl of the Wild rivalry series between Montana State University and the University of Montana. It's all sports all season long. Look for special Brawl of the Wild promotions at your local Town Pump. We got another Brawl of the Wild tomorrow For women's basketball, women are in the championship game against Montana. 3 p.m. the tip-off, 2:45 on the air for Daniel Sally. 11:21 to go in the ball game. Northern Colorado leads at 44-29, and head coach Matt Logie has been ejected during the last break. He just picked up his technical. One of the officials came over. He kind of had his arms crossed, started talking a little bit. And as Logie turned around and threw one more barb over his right shoulder, the official blew his whistle, threw his fingertips into his palm, and then pointed to the sky with a throw, tossing Coach Logie out of this ball game in the semifinal of the Big Sky Tournament. Sam Scholl, who has head coach experience, moves over to the end of the bench now, as the Bobcats face a 15-point deficit with 11:21 to go in the second half. And the 10-game Big Sky Tournament winning streak is on life support, and the Bobcats' magical run seemingly about to approach its midnight. Certainly has been a fun run as Hawthorne hits the first technical free throw. He's got 9. Really, the Bobcats have done enough defensively tonight, but for whatever reason, the basketball gods have put a lid on the bucket as Hawthorne misses the second free throw. And I say that in that, we've seen some bad halves and moments from the Bobcat offense this year. Just didn't look right, not the way it was supposed to. At times, it's looked good tonight, but the shots just have not fallen. We've seen so many just rim out. Started right at the beginning. Reilly inbounds as Wisney hands it off back to Reilly. Northern Colorado with the basketball and a 45-29 lead. To Denker on the right wing, up to McCreary, takes it into the lane, drops it off to Wisney, and they call foul as Jabe Mullins brings his arm down and whacks it free. First foul on Mullins. Serving all your garage door needs, StoreTech is raising the door on quality. Wisney will go to the line. Just so many memories during this run. As Wisney hits the front end of the 1-and-1. Xavier Bishop leading the team as the MVP in 2022. The redemption tour after they lost in the championship game. Wisney knocking down the second free throw. He's got 10. Bobcats the ball moving from left to right. 11:05 to go in the ball game, trailing 47-29. Jed Miller bounces to Chika Duca. Handoff for Jay Mullins at the top. Knocked free by Reilly, but Miller picks up the loose change. The Bobcats continue on the offensive side. Garacki steps in. His three ball too strong. Northern Colorado with a rebound. Of course, the run in 2023, what ended up being Coach Sprinkle's final year. And now we got a foul. Chika Duca got into the screen. Duca picking up the foul, his third. The alley-oop slam from Darius Brown to Raekwon Battle in overtime to eliminate Weber State in the semifinals before they rolled through Northern Arizona, who fought their way out of the first day that year. They were a bottom 4 seed. Found Montana State in the championship game. Next free throw is good for Quinn Denker. Last year, everything coming together with the Avalanche basketball. Robert Ford III with the clinching steal in the championship game. Next free throw is good for Denker. Bobcats the ball down by 20. 10:35 to go in the second half. Now facing their largest deficit of the night. The Avalanche pouring down on Idaho State last night in the quarterfinals to at least get the win here in the tournament. Ogbong Polo misses the three, and the long rebound tracked down by McCreary. And Northern Colorado will set it up. UNC in the 5th year under head coach Steve Smiley, finding some great success despite losing some great talent as Denker is fouled underneath. Jed Miller went to work on the defensive side there. Miller picks up his second foul. And now one of the great questions will be how this roster gets constructed next season. Free throw is no good from Quinn Denker. Now, Logie talked about it at the start of the year. He went out and recruited some seniors and guys with 1 year of eligibility left because he wanted to go for it with this group. The free throw is good from Denker. 50-29, Northern Colorado leads with 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Out to Naduka, hands it off to Miller. Around Ogbong-Polo, into the lane, and he draws a foul. Bronx cheer coming from the Bobcat contingent behind us. 5th team foul on at Northern Colorado. The Bobcats will inbound. Zephyr gets it in. Patterson, catch and shoot 3. That's no good, and the rebound corralled by Northern Colorado. Patterson 0 for 2 from deep today. Sitting on 277 three-point makes, second all-time in program history. Around to the left wing, McCreary tries a 3. That's good. Marcel McCreary pours it in, 53-29. Northern Colorado leading, 9:30 to go in the game. Ogbong-Polo gets in deep. His left-handed reverse layup is good. Ogbong-Polo now with 9. That's a game high for MSU. Ogbong-Polo in his 6th year at 3 seasons at USC, 1 at Wyoming, 1 at Utah State. And finishing up his career here, the Bobcat blue and gold. And McCreary with a right-hand dunk. UNC takes a 55-31 lead. Zephyr down to the left baseline. Backing it out in the left corner. Kevin Olek potentially playing in his final game of the Bobcat blue and gold. Handoff for Miller. His topside 3. That's no good. Fight for the rebound and won by Northern Colorado as Lecolot was the only blue jersey in amongst a tree and forest of white unis. 8:40 to go in the ball game. Northern Colorado starting to work the clock now. Coach Logie, with a couple of technicals tonight, has been ejected. Coach Sam Scholl is running things now. Reilly spins into the lane. Fall away, left-handed jumper is good. Jaron Reilly pouring it home. And the Bobcats now moving from left to right. 57-31, 8:15 to go, and a timeout called by Montana State. All Northern Colorado today, and this magical run coming back down to earth with a thud. We'll step aside. 8 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the ball game, and Northern Colorado leads Montana State 57-31. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
The Gallatin Valley is thriving, and Bozeman is not only a destination for families to live, work, and play, it's also a destination for businesses. The Bozeman Area Chamber of Commerce is a great way to get involved in Bozeman's thriving business community. The Bozeman Chamber Economic Partnership assists existing businesses through expansion, grows new companies in our community, and attracts fresh opportunities for Gallatin County. Bozeman, our community, a jewel among the Northern Rockies. For more information, go to bozemanchamber.com.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice the meat and cheese for my sub is a sight to behold. The layers of ham, salami, and pepperoni are even more glorious than the pink and orange layers of a sunrise. Yeah, the sun's pretty and all that, but in about 7 billion years it's going to explode, obliterating the earth and every living thing on it. And if there's no sun, there's no subs. Meanwhile, the only thing a sub ever obliterated was my hunger. Freshly sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
When a power line has fallen down, it can be downright dangerous and even deadly. That's because downed lines can still energize the ground and objects around them. To help keep you and others safe, Northwestern Energy says stay at least 35 feet or the length of a semi-truck away from a downed power line and anything the line is touching. You should always assume the line is live, and if you see a downed line, immediately call 911 and warn others. Northwestern Energy, delivering a bright future.
Back at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position of the semifinals of the Big Sky Tournament. 8 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the game. Northern Colorado opened this thing up with a 15-0 run to start the game. They now lead 57-31. And things have been sliding downhill throughout the night in favor of Northern Colorado. Max Ogbong-Polo leading the way with 9 points. Zephyr has 7. Garacki has 7. The Bobcats have 6 seniors, 6 guys who have run out of their eligibility after this season. And such an eclectic group in this senior class when you look at guys like Jade Mullins and Max Ogbong-Polo, who entrusted their final senior year into Coach Logie and this Bobcat team. Stalwarts, guys who've been here throughout their career. Sam Leckalot and Tyler Patterson. And then the guys who have been here for the last two, in Garacki and the Duca. Zephyr inside, lays it up, no, but draws a foul. Goes right into the belly of the Beasts. And Zach Block picks up the foul. It's some good work right there by Bryce Zephyr, bringing a little juice, going to the line with 8:05 left. For Tyler Patterson, playing now in a Big Sky record 14th Big Sky tournament game. He's scored 73 points. First free throw, no good from Zephyr. Most of his heavy lifting has been done the last 2 years for Montana State as Zephyr knocks down the next free throw. Zephyr, a fifth-year junior. He's got another year of eligibility at least. A timeout called by Northern Colorado as Montana State brings out the full-court press. And that's going to take us to another break as well. So this is going to be what is the under 8 media timeout, despite it still being over 8. So 8:05 to go in the ball game, and Northern Colorado leading Montana State 57-32. Back after this, you're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
It's easy not to think about food security when there's food on the table. But right now, 1 out of 10 Montanans is hungry.
When families don't have adequate access to nutritious food, that takes a very real toll on people's health.
This is why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Montana partners with Montana Food Bank Network.
Our interest at Blue Cross is we want the state, whether they're a member or not, to have adequate supply, access, composition of the food that they're able to get.
Learn more at bigblueskyinitiativemt.com.
Rocky Mountain Credit Union has supported Montana State athletics for over 40 years and provides a local credit union for past, present, and future Bobcats. You can have it all with RMCU. Low rates, mobile banking, a place to start saving, or work on building your credit. Visit your local branch or online at rmcu.net to become a member today. That's rmcu.net. Go Bobcats.
No matter how far you may go, there's always one just down the road. Town Pump, who pump it up, pump it up.
Town of Pump is excited to once again sponsor the Brawl of the Wild Rivalry Series between Montana State and the University of Montana. Look for special Brawl of the Wild promotions throughout the year at your local Town Pump.
Town Pump, right down the road, pump it up, oh yeah.
Interwest Moving and Storage is the official moving company of the MSU Bobcats. With First Interstate Bank broadcast position with 8:05 to go in the ball game. Montana State trailing 57-32 as they have been swimming upstream all night on the offensive side. They have shot just 23% from the field. They've really played some good defense tonight, but right from the outset, the Bobcats they could not hit anything, and everything seemingly just rimming out, popping out, bouncing off here, bouncing off there. They are just 3 of 20 from the three-point line. Head coach Matt Logie has been ejected, picking up a second technical during the under-12 media timeout. Bobcats still out there fighting. The all-time leader in games played in program history and in the Big Sky, Tyler Patterson, with 160 games played. Potentially playing in his final 8 minutes in the Bobcat blue and gold. Same for Sam Leckalot, playing in his 134th career game. Inbounds pass tipped by Ogbong Polo, and then he commits the foul. So Ogbong Polo picks up his first. He tipped it and then committed the foul as he was going after the loose ball. That will send Quinn Denker to the line. Montana and Idaho are up next in the semifinals. Free throw is good by Quinn Denker. Always a question on who and how a team will return. Free throw by Denker is no good, and Ogbong Polo has the rebound. Jed Miller has the dribble up at the top. Handoff for Leckalot. Then to Patterson. Around to the top of the key for Jed Miller. Give it to Leckalot, left wing. Handoff for Zephyr. Takes it inside, down to the left block, back to the basket against Denker. Pivoting, turning, hooking, rimming, no. And he could not quite corral his own rebound. The Bobcats, tough night from the field continues. 10 of 45, 22% from the field for the Bobcat offense. And they have been out-rebounded 37-19. Wisney throws out to Denker. He works inside, Euro step, handoff, Wisney, floater up and good. Brock Wisney laying it home. He's got a dozen. That's a game high. 60-32, Northern Colorado leads with 7 minutes left. Jed Miller throws it to Max Ogbong-Polo. He takes it inside to the mid-post, kicks it back out to Tyler Patterson, around to Miller. Then to Patterson. Throws back up to Jed Miller. So Lekelot at the top of the key. Handoff for Ogbong-Polo. Takes it down to the mid-post. Back to the basket. Back and in and back and down. Spins. Hook. Shot up. And in and out. Offensive rebound, though. Bryce Zephyr on a hop down to the left corner. Zephyr backing it in on Denker. Into the paint. Turns right shoulder. Comes back the other way. Hooks it short. Rebound tipped out. And the Bobcats able to preserve the possession once more. Down to the right baseline, Lekelot. Out to Zephyr on the right wing. Lobs into the post. Lekelot makes the catch but commits the foul. Denker picks it up. The officials look like they've just got absolutely no tolerance for anybody. Doesn't matter what jersey they're wearing. Doesn't matter what they say. Doesn't matter how much contact there is. And the official, after Denker tried to argue what was a pretty obvious foul, just kind of rolled his eyes, shook his head, and just walked away. 6:24 to go in the ball game. Northern Colorado leads 60-32 as Sam Lekelot, Sheridan Sam, in his fourth and final year with the Bobcats, heads to the free throw line. Came into this game today 10-0 all time at Idaho Central Arena as he hits the first free throw. 3 points now for Sam Lekelot tonight. Crossed over 500 career points last night. He's got 506 in his career. There's 507. Knocks that free throw down. So 507 points for Sam Lekelot in 134 career games. He's added 3 rebounds to hit 359. Came in with 58 career blocks, 41 career steals, 113 career assists entering the ball game tonight. 60-34, Northern Colorado leading. 6:18 to go in the ball game. In so many ways, this dynastic run began against Northern Colorado in that championship win in 2022. Feels like it's coming to an end against the Bears here tonight. Reynolds missed it. It's goaltending by Max Ogbong-Polo on that little hook shot by Langston Reynolds. Bobcats also ejected Northern Colorado from this tournament in 2023 in the first round, eliminating Dalton Connect and company. Here's Zephyr out on the right wing. Into the right corner for Pat McMahon, who's got another year of eligibility after the injury last year. Kick out to Zephyr on the right wing. Throws back to the top for Pat McMahon. He dials up a topside three. That is short, airballed, out of bounds. Just not the night for the Bobcats. But so many wonderful memories over these last couple of years that certainly can't be diminished by what this score looks like now as Isaiah Hawthorne brings it into the front court for Northern Colorado. Really has it just on the other side of the half-court line. And boy, you're not a true blue and gold Bobcat fan without a few scars, and a ball game tonight, like tonight, will certainly add a few scars. Certainly stings as really tries a topside three, no good, but Tyler Patterson in that memorable number 11 grabs the rebound and throws it ahead to Bryce Zephyr, who's got another year here with the Bobcats. Out to Patterson, dials up a three, no good. Naduka knocks it out of bounds on the rebound attempt. Brian Garacki into the ball game. All-tournament team last year, coming up from D2, proven he's a D1 player, coming up with his coach, Matt Logie. Really accepts the inbounds pass. Garacki over 1,000 career points, and his 2 stops in San Diego at Point Loma and here in Bozeman at Montana State. 4:50 remaining in the ball game. Northern Colorado leads at 62-34. Really bounces into the post, down to the left block. Reynolds skips around to the right corner, out to McCreary on the right wing, weaves into the paint, pulls up with a short jumper, and it's good. 64-34, Northern Colorado a 30-point lead, 4:30 to go in the game. Zephyr working down on the right baseline. Back to the basket and back it in. Spins around, gets underneath. Reverse layup up, no good. And the rebound grab by Northern Colorado. It's easy to win like a champion. It's hard to lose like a champion. The Bobcats playing clean, playing with their head up, playing with respect for the game at the end of this one. No whining, no complaining, no dirty fouls. Just playing with hustle and edge as they get to the final 4 minutes in the semifinals of the tournament. Out to the right wing. Here's the three. That's no good from Jackson. Rebound tipped out of bounds, and it'll stay here with Northern Colorado. We'll step aside our final break. MSU trailing 64-34 against Northern Colorado with 3:52 to go in the ballgame. Don't be sad it's over. Be happy it happened. As we head to break, you're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice the meat and cheese for my sub is a sight to behold. The layers of ham, salami, and pepperoni are even more glorious than the pink and orange layers of a sunrise. Yeah, the sun's pretty and all that, but in about 7 billion years it's going to explode, obliterating the earth and every living thing on it. And if there's no sun, there's no subs. Meanwhile, the only thing a sub ever obliterated was my hunger. Freshly sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
When a power line has fallen down, it can be downright dangerous and even deadly. That's because downed lines can still energize the ground and objects around them. To help keep you and others safe, Northwestern Energy says stay at least 35 feet or the length of a semi-truck away from a downed power line and anything the line is touching. You should always assume the line is live, and if you see a downed line, immediately call 911 and warn others. Northwestern Energy, delivering a bright future.
A night like tonight, the semifinals of the Big Sky Tournament are always a good reminder. Your worst day as a Bobcat is still better than the best possible day you could have as a Grizzly. 3:52 to go in the second half. Montana State leads at 64-34. Well, all good things do eventually come to an end. And the Bobcats' dynastic three-peat on the ropes. We've got a technical issue here, not a technical foul. Something's going on. The officials are communicating with the national telecast, and they're taking a look at the monitor of sorts. Not sure what that was all about, but appears to be cleaned up. Oh, they took 2 points off the board for Northern Colorado. They went back and reviewed the goaltending on Max Ogbong-Polo, took that off the board after the review. So it is now 62-34, and Northern Colorado loses 2 points. See, there's always a silver lining. Northern Colorado with a basketball. Jaron Reilly weaving his way to the free throw line. Stops, pops, jumper, good. Rattles home the first team All-Big Sky point guard now with the 11 points. Cats did a nice job, honestly, out on him. He was shooting 30% from the field before that one. This guy shoots almost 50% on the year. Max Ogbong-Polo out of the right wing. Takes it down to the right block, pulls up, the jumper is up. That is no good. Naduka, the offensive board, back up and in. Well, regardless of what the score is, you can always play like a champion. The Bobcats bringing some energy, bringing some juice, and taking this thing across the finish line with class tonight, down 64-36 with 3 minutes left in the semifinals. Final night for 6 Bobcat seniors, 5 of them on the floor right now, and one of them sitting at the scorer's table ready to check in, and Sam Lecolot. Really off-balance shot, got it to go. That's a tough finish. We got a whistle and a timeout called by Northern Colorado to sub in some substitutions. Sam Lecolot checking in potentially for the final time in his career. Over 500 points, over 350 rebounds, almost 60 blocks, 40 steals, and over 100 assists. And for Tyler Patterson, over 1,000 career points, playing in his 160th game. Nearly impossible record to break as we move out of the era of extra COVID years and extra years of eligibility. And for Max Ogbong-Polo and Jay Mullins, who have played in a lot of ways at some of the highest levels of collegiate basketball, here with Montana State, doing everything they could to try to keep this dynastic run alive. 2:45 to go in the ball game. Yeah, Montana State ready to go from left to right. Don't forget, there are still some wonderful Bobcat basketball memories to be made on this floor tomorrow. The women are in the championship game against the Grizzlies at 3 p.m. Pat McMahon out of the right wing. Weaving into the lane. He turns, puts it up, and draws the fouls. He misses the hook shot against Egan Shields. You know, you put so much time and effort into your class schedule, your homework, to practice and to travel, to games and scouting reports, and all the little things that go into earning an opportunity to get on the floor of a Division I basketball game. Pat McMahon knocks down the first free throw. Jay Mullins checks out of the ball game and gets a big hug from Coach Scholl and everybody else as his career comes to an end. Pat McMahon knocks it down. And in the end, it feels like such long days and long hours and long work. And a timeout called by Northern Colorado as the Bobcat full court press denies the inbounds pass. But in the end, whenever that final moment comes, as it does for every single person who has the blessed opportunity to work in college athletics, in the end, it seemingly comes so fast and so quick. 66-38, Northern Colorado leading with 2:29 to go in the ball game. And a timeout called as Montana State huddles up once more. Northern Colorado is a very good team. And one of the things that they had coming into the game and coming into this season this year has been their continuity. You know, one of the reasons they got off to such a quality start in Big Sky play was they had a lot of continuity, particularly at the point guard position in Jaron Reilly. And one of the questions that will permeate during the offseason is, how does this roster get constructed and built next year? In so many ways, Coach Logie had to kind of throw a few Band-Aids on the roster construction the last 2 years. Came in as the final Division I head coach hired in his first season and just had to scrap and claw to get some people to believe in him and his program. And this year, a testament to his trust and his faith and his belief in guys like Tyler Patterson and Sam Lechlot wanting to go for it this year. And bringing in some guys who only had 1 year of eligibility left. And now next year, how does he build this roster in his own view with a long-term view? Because it has been a bit of a short-term view these last 2 years for Montana State, and rightfully so, and it did turn into a championship a year ago. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left to go. Northern Colorado leading 66-38. Into the left corner. Northern Colorado with a basketball. McCreary goes over to the left wing. Toss into the left corner. Here's the three. That's no good. Garacki the rebound. MSU pushing from left to right. Garacki into the lane. He goes right to the rack, lays it up. No, but draws the foul. And goes down hard. Down underneath. He's all right. Popping back up. It's folks from Monroe, Oregon, making the trip all over the Big Sky the last 2 years to watch Garacki play. His grandmother here in attendance as well. 3 great years at Point Loma. Such a big part of the championship a year ago. Fought through a midseason slump. Hit the first couple of buckets tonight. First free throw is good. William Hummer into the ball game for Northern Colorado. Bobcats will finish the year at 15-18. And so many ways to be starting from kind of zero next year, although see how some of these guys come back. As Garacki knocks it down, you imagine a guy like Pat McMahon, Jed Miller, who stuck it out through the coaching change, will remain here. Brian Garacki checking out for the final time. High fives across. Inbounds deep into the backcourt for Zach Block. Got a guy like Jed Miller, Bryce Zephyr with another year of eligibility. To be determined on how things play out with Brandon Walker next year. But yeah, his credibility and character are certainly intact. All that's has transpired these last 3 games for Brandon Walker have been between the white lines. It's all been on the floor. A guy who's certainly earned even more respect from his teammates, Brandon Walker, over these last 3 games with how he has handled not getting an opportunity to get on the floor. Jumper is good by Quinn Denker. 68-40, Northern Colorado leading, the number 1 seed flexing their muscle. Well, if you come for the king, you best not miss. And Northern Colorado did not miss tonight. Lecolot tries a 3. That's no good. Northern Colorado the rebound with 1:10 to go in the ball game. Montana State, a program record and a conference record, 10 straight tournament wins. And we are into the final minute of what has been one of the great golden runs in the history of Bobcat basketball that has spanned over 100 years. Denker inside, lays it home. 70-40, Northern Colorado leading. And now whistling a timeout. Callum Rutherford checking in. And Sam Lecolot, Sheridan Sam, heading off the floor for a final time in the Bobcat blue and gold. Somebody who has created some wonderful memories for a generation of Bobcat basketball fans over these last 4 years. Has a hug with Coach Payne, his former teammate, assistant coach Xavier Bishop. And for that cowboy from Wyoming, there are very few things that will bring some tears to the eyes of a cowboy. Sam Lecolot, an emotional moment as he comes off the floor now. Callum Rutherford turns and hooks it home, and the first 2 career points for Callum Rutherford, and the true circle of an athletic life as Sam Lecolot checks out for the final time, and Callum Rutherford scoring his first 2 career points. Final 20 seconds, 70-42, Northern Colorado leading. As this thing winds down to the end, and Northern Colorado will meet the winner of Montana and Idaho in the championship game tomorrow night. Right elbow jumper is short, putback is good. Inbounds pass, Bryce Zephyr moving from left to right. And a timeout called as B.J. Cawley checks in. And Chika Nduka will come off the floor for the final time in his 4-year collegiate career. 2 years at Portland, a Big Sky champ with the Bobcats last year. Some great and wonderful, energetic moments off the bench. And a hug with Coach Scholl on the sideline. Zephyr inbounds it to Jed Miller, back to Zephyr. 2 guys back next year for the Bobcats. Zephyr with a 3. That's good. And that's the academic finish to this one. 72-45, and the dynastic run comes to an end. Don't be sad it's over. Be happy it happened. What a wonderful ride it has been over the last 3.5 years here in the Big Sky tournament. And the Bobcats eliminated 72-45 against the top-seeded Northern Colorado Bears. It's over for the men, but it continues for the women. You better suck it up and move on because you got a great team to root on tomorrow at 3 p.m. in the Big Sky Tournament Championship with Coach Bidford in her 20 years at the helm, running out one of the great teams she has ever fielded in the Bobcat Blue and Gold. That is at 3 o'clock tomorrow against the Montana women. We will step aside. Montana State eliminated the Big Sky Tournament Championship, Big Sky Tournament, losing in the semifinals today, 72-45. We'll take a break. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
The roar of the crowd, the thunder of thousands of fans stomping their feet as the Bobcats take the field. For Mary, her chronic hip pain kept her from the thrill of her favorite pastime. Thanks to the revolutionary orthopedic care from Bozeman's local orthopedic groups and the Bozeman Health Spine and Joint Institute, Mary was back on her feet and back in the game. If chronic spine and joint pain is keeping you from the activities you love, start your journey by visiting bozemanhealth.org/SJI.
Northern States Fishing Tools, a proud sponsor of the Montana State Bobcats, has been serving the eastern Montana and western North Dakota oil fields since 1978. We are here to provide you with the best tools and services, all at competitive prices. Northern States Fishing Tools services the Williston Basin with fishing and rental tools, along with downhole tools that include packers, plugs, and through tubing equipment. We have the expert knowledge to give you satisfying results based on your specific needs. Go Bobcats!
Great houses start with a sound foundation. That foundation starts with a mortgage with Sarah Kelzer and team at Rate. She is Bozeman's trusted mortgage specialist with 20 years experience that knows the neighborhood. We have great rates and personalized home lending solutions, and our decisions are made quickly so you can move into your dream home sooner. Rate, the foundation of great homes throughout Montana. Call Sarah at 406-580-6604 or apply online. Equal housing lender subject to credit approval. NMLS number 400361.
Universal Athletic has been a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Check out their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. Shop in store at their North 7th Avenue location or online at shop.msubobcats.com for everything you need to cheer on your Bobcats. Universal Athletic, a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Go Cats!
Here's to home. Here's to Northwest Crossing, where kids can be kids. And adults can also be kids. And new neighbors feel like old friends. Welcome to Bozeman, Montana's newest master planned community. Life here comes with nearby, top-rated Bozeman schools, on-site eateries and retail, office space, parks, trails, and so much more, including new homes from the 500s to 800s, exclusively built by Williams Homes. Learn more at nwxbzn.com. nwxbzn.com.
You are a Bobcat fan, and your seat matters. Section 108, right in the middle. And a perfect view of the fast break, alley-oop, and slam dunk. At Kendall Ford of Bozeman, we're a proud supporter of Montana State Athletics. We're big fans of teamwork, dedication, and helping customers find the best deal on the perfect vehicle to fit their needs. Where you sit matters, as in the driver's seat. Get started at KendallFordBozeman.com. Kendall, let's start something great.
Bobcat Basketball has been brought to you by Door Tech, raising the door on quality, Montana State University, Mountains and Mines, and by Rate, the foundation of great homes throughout Montana. Live from the First Interstate Bank broadcast booth, this is Bobcat Postgame.
All good things must come to an end, and the end of this golden run has come today in the 2025 semifinals with a lopsided 72-45 loss at the hands of the number one seeded Northern Colorado Bears, which will take on the winner of the Montana and Idaho game, which is warming up on the floor in front of us now. Keaton Gillogly with you from Idaho Central Arena. Before we go any further, let's pause 10 seconds for network station identification. You're listening to Montana State Basketball.
AM 1450, KMMS, and K236CY Bozeman, 1340 KPRK Livingston, where Montana talks.
My name is Keaton Gillogly. Bryn Chalmers is our producer back in the studios. We are TBD on who we'll be talking to after the game today, as head coach Matt Logie was ejected from this game in the second half, and Montana State finishes the 24-25 basketball season at 15-18. They go 9-9 in the regular season. They do win a quarterfinal game in the Big Sky tournament and lose here in the semifinals, as what has been a run that felt like it has been filled with helium comes crashing down today. But, Montana State played this game like a champion regardless of the score. There's a lot of emotion tied up in what is your final collegiate game, like it was for 6 seniors for Montana State. There is a lot of emotion and pressure tied up when you come into a tournament where you have won 3 straight championships. There's a lot of pressure when, Montana State has had a lot of ups and downs, and maybe a few more ups and downs than they would have hoped for when they look at themselves in the mirror and look at what kind of talent was assembled on this roster this year. But at the end of the day, they came out, they played hard, they played down through the finish line. They never slowed up with their effort and their energy and their hustle tonight. They never played dirty. They didn't commit any gnarly fouls. They didn't injure anybody. They didn't go out and whine. They did not go out and complain. They held their head high, and today they took their loss like a champion, and that is something you can be proud of if you are a Bobcat fan. And as much as this hurts and stings now, today, here in this moment, at just after 9 o'clock Mountain Time here in Boise, you better not hang your head, because there is still Bobcat basketball to be played. women's team coming off a dominant performance earlier this afternoon. They're in the championship game tomorrow. So you could be upset about the men's three-peat coming to a close here in 2025, but you better not let there be a hangover tomorrow, as Coach Binford and her crew have a big-time ball game dialed up for tomorrow at 3 p.m. against Montana, with an opportunity to earn a berth into the NCAA tournament if they get the win against Montana tomorrow. So, sure, not fun today, but you've got a lot to cheer for tomorrow if you're a Montana State fan, as the 24-25 season come to a close for the men with a 15-18 overall record this year. Bobcats fall today at 72-45. Shots just were not falling early, and it seemed the basketball god said that the Bobcat luck was going to run out tonight. All right, we're going to take a break. More to get to. We'll get a post-game interview, although I don't know that it will be Logie. I don't know who it will be, as Coach Logie was ejected in this game with a pair of technicals. But for now, we'll step aside as the Bobcats fall 72-45 against Northern Colorado. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice the meat and cheese for my sub is a sight to behold. The layers of ham, salami, and pepperoni are even more glorious than the pink and orange layers of a sunrise. Yeah, the sun's pretty and all that, but in about 7 billion years, it's going to explode, obliterating the Earth and every living thing on it. And if there's no sun, there's no subs. Meanwhile, the only thing a sub ever obliterated was my hunger. Freshly sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
At Montana State University, students shape signature experiences that take them across the state and into local communities. MSU is dedicated to its land-grant mission, integrating transformational learning, discovery, and service that improves lives. You'll find our students teaching across Montana, conducting research in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, or even creating small shelter prototypes to address homelessness. Montana State University. Think outside.
From our 1946 roots providing lumber for Yellowstone National Park to our current headquarters in Bozeman, we at Simpkins-Hallen believe in building the Gallatin Valley's future while continuing to honor its past. Contractors large and small benefit from our decades of experience and our extensive network of suppliers. We can source the materials you need, no matter the project. For all your building needs, go to where long-standing traditions have met with quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins-Hallen, a Montana tradition among builders since 1946.
There is a local ranch just outside of Boise, Idaho, that has masterfully bred Japanese Wagyu cattle with American Angus cattle. Now this American-style Wagyu beef is available to you and your family. Rosars presents Snake River American-style Wagyu beef. Snake River Farms beef is famously found in many exclusive five-star steak restaurants. Snake River Farms, available at your local neighborhood Rosars.
Bobcats fall in the semifinals of the Big Sky Tournament. Their 10-game tournament winning streak comes to a close as they lose today 72-45 against number 1 Northern Colorado. The Bobcats as a 5 seed in this tournament and just didn't quite have enough juice in this one. The shots were not falling early, and the season comes to a close. Although the women still playing tomorrow in the championship game, hoping for a berth into the NCAA tournament. All right, we've got a bunch to get to here, but we're going to take another break. We'll get you some highlights. We'll have a post-game interview and more, but for now, a timeout. Bobcats fall 72-45 in the semifinals against Northern Colorado. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
Hello, tomorrow. We may not know exactly what you've got in store for us, for our routines and our normals. But here's the thing. Turns out, we've got this. We haven't seen everything, but we have seen ourselves be more ready for whatever you bring than we thought we would be. So when it comes to tomorrow, bring on the day. First Interstate, built for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Visit us at firstinterstate.com.
The roar of the crowd, the thunder of thousands of fans stomping their feet as the Bobcats take the field. For Mary, her chronic hip pain kept her from the thrill of her favorite pastime. Thanks to the revolutionary orthopedic care from Bozeman's local orthopedic groups and the Bozeman Health Spine and Joint Institute, Mary was back on her feet and back in the game. If chronic spine and joint pain is keeping you from the activities you love, start your journey by visiting bozemanhealth.org/SJI.
Here's to home. Here's to Northwest Crossing, where kids can be kids. And adults can also be kids. And new neighbors feel like old friends. Welcome to Bozeman, Montana's newest master planned community. Life here comes with nearby top-rated Bozeman schools, on-site eateries and retail, office space, parks, trails, and so much more, including new homes from the 500s to 800s, exclusively built by Williams Homes. Learn more at nwxbzn.com. nwxbzn.com.
Northern States Fishing Tools, a proud sponsor of the Montana State Bobcats, has been serving the eastern Montana and western North Dakota oil fields since 1978. We are here to provide you with the best tools and services, all at competitive prices. Northern States Fishing Tools services the Williston Basin with fishing and rental tools, along with downhole tools that include packers, plugs, and through tubing equipment. We have the expert knowledge to give you satisfying results based on your specific needs. Go Bobcats!
No matter how far you may go, there's always one just down the road. Down Pump, who pump it up, pump it up.
Town of Pump is excited to once again sponsor the Brawl of the Wild Rivalry Series between Montana State and the University of Montana. Look for special Brawl of the Wild promotions throughout the year at your local Town Pump.
Town Pump, right down the road, pump it up, oh yeah.
For all of your tree and lawn care needs, turn to Arbor Medic Tree and Lawn Care, a proud sponsor of MSU Athletics. Arbor Medic Tree and Lawn Care provides outstanding service for your landscape for pruning, removals, stump grinding, tree moving, plant health care, and all of your landscaping maintenance needs. Check out Arbor Medic Tree and Lawn Care. Wade duly certified arborist.
Back on the post-game show as Montana State falls today 72-45 in the semifinals of the Big Sky Tournament against Northern Colorado. And the Bobcats' dynastic run coming to an end, and we'll see if they can start it anew next year with a much different-looking roster next season, although they'll still have quite a few memorable names and faces on this roster. There are still some good bones in this program despite this painful loss today as the Bobcats come up shy 72-45. All right, let's take a look at some of the numbers from this ball game. Montana State really struggled offensively today. You could see it right from the outset. They really struggled to score. The shots were just not really fun. It wasn't so much that UNC was doing anything magnificent on the defensive end. It just everything seemed to rim out or bounce off the inside of the iron, and just shots weren't falling. In so many ways, it just felt like it wasn't Montana State's night, and in a one-and-done single-elimination tournament, it's not your night. The season comes to an end, and that's how things played out today. So Cats went 4 of 26 in the first half, 24% from the field, 4 of 24 from the three-point line. That's 17%, and 15 of 18 from the free throw line. For Northern Colorado, they shot 50%. A lot of that came late. 5 of 15 from 3, 13 of 18 from the free throw line. Bobcats did some things tonight on the defensive side that were going to probably be enough to win, or at least make this a tight game down to the wire, but was not enough offense at all for Montana State. Kind of made some of that defensive effort a moot point for this Bobcat team. MSU was out-rebounded this game 44-23. They had only 5 assists on 13 makes with 7 turnovers. Cats did have 8 steals, 5 steals from Jed Miller, who did bring a lot of energy, effort, and some juice here to this ball game today, and did what they could throughout this one. So some of the individual numbers: Bryce Zephyr led the way with 11 points on 4 of 8 shooting, 2 of 3 from the three-point line. 9 points from Max Ogbonkpolo and 5 rebounds. 9 points from Brian Garacki today in his final collegiate ball game. 4 points from Sam Leicolot. 4 points from Jed Miller. Callum Rutherford with his first 2 career points in this one today. 2 points for Jay Mullins. 2 for Pat McMahon, who will be back next year. And Chika Nduka with 2 points, who wraps up his collegiate career today. On the other side for Northern Colorado, they scored 42 points in the paint today. They had 4 players in double figures, 13 for Jared Reilly, who had only 2 assists and 4 rebounds. He got some points late, but Cats did a decent job against Reilly today. 12 points for Brock Wisney, 5 rebounds. 12 points for Quinn Denker. He had 3 rebounds in this ball game. 11 points for Marcel McCreary with 9 rebounds in the contest. Isaiah Hawthorne had 9 points in this game. Langston Reynolds had 9 points. Zach Block had 6 points in this contest as the Bobcats fall shy in the Big Sky semifinals today. All right, we're taking a break. Montana State falls 72-45. Back with some highlights. After this, you're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide much-needed life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. That's why at Firehouse Subs, they make their subs differently, because their subs can make a difference. Their family of restaurant owners and local crews are proud to continue to serve you the hot, hearty, life-saving subs you crave every day. In fact, it's never been easier to grab their subs to go with Rapid Rescue to Go. Save time when you order online at firehousesubs.com or on their app. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
The Gallatin Valley is thriving, and Bozeman is not only a destination for families to live, work, and play, it's also a destination for businesses. The Bozeman Area Chamber of Commerce is a great way to get involved in Bozeman's thriving business community. The Bozeman Chamber Economic Partnership assists existing businesses through expansion, grows new companies in our community, and attracts fresh opportunities for Gallatin County. Bozeman, our community, a jewel among the Northern Rockies. For more information, go to bozemanchamber.com.
When a power line has fallen down, it can be downright dangerous and even deadly. That's because downed lines can still energize the ground and objects around them. To help keep you and others safe, Northwestern Energy says stay at least 35 feet or the length of a semi-truck away from a downed power line and anything the line is touching. You should always assume the line is live, and if you see a downed line, immediately call 911 and warn others. Northwestern Energy, delivering a bright future.
Back courtside, First Interstate Bank broadcast position at Idaho Central Arena, which has been filled with wonderful memories in Bobcat history, but tonight is not one of those nights. As Montana State falls 72-45 in the semifinals. They reach the Final Four, but come up short, and their season comes to a close. But the women are still rolling. A couple of dominant wins to open up the tournament for Coach Binford. And they will play for the championship tomorrow at 3 p.m. Daniel Sally will be on the call at 2:45 coming up tomorrow afternoon. All right, let's take a listen next to some of the highlights of the game. Our First Security Bank highlights of the game are up next, and we can take a listen to those right now. McCreary posting up against Miller. Throws out to the top. Block steps inside. His pass is picked off. Jed Miller with the steal. What a play. Out to Zephyr. Down into the lane. Throws out to Lekalot. Down into the post. Spins. Hooks. Got to go. Jed Miller sparking the run. And a 2-point bucket by Sam Lekalot. And as the Bobcats have been punched in the mouth, letting the Bears know, ain't hear no bell yet. Around to Zephyr. Works the right baseline. Gets in deep. Reverse layup. And it's good. Bryce Zephyr putting another clip on the highlight reel with a reverse left-handed layup. Corner. Zephyr for 3. That's good. The second 3 of the day comes at the 17-minute mark of the second half. What an effort Miller's put in on the defensive side as he tips it free to Ogbong Polo and ahead to Miller. Makes the catch, lays it up and in. Chad Miller, a menace on the defensive side. And Max Ogbong Polo with the assist. Ogbong Polo gets in deep. His left-handed reverse layup is good. Callum Rutherford turns and hooks it home, and the first 2 career points for Callum Rutherford. Our First Security Bank highlights of the ball game tonight. Not a ton. Bit of a low light tonight for the Bobcats as they fall 72-45. Our McDonald's delivery of the game today. I want to go to Jed Miller for his delivery on the defensive side with 5 steals. He did a nice job trying to bring some juice and some energy and some big-time plays down the stretch, and certainly did what he could in this ball game to make it close late, but not enough as Montana State falls in this one. But kudos to Jed Miller for his delivery late in this game, presented by McDonald's, your locally owned and operated McDonald's of Montana. Intermountain Health player of the game today for Montana State. The leading scorer was Bryce Zephyr. He had 11 points on 4 of 8 shooting today, so we'll go with Bryce Zephyr for the Intermountain Health player of the game. The look ahead presented by Vance Thompson Vision, the official LASIK cataract surgeon of the Montana State Bobcats. It's going to be an interesting look ahead here for Montana State. Obviously, we've got the women to cheer on tomorrow, so no sulking after a tough loss today, because the women certainly deserve and have earned your excitement and energy tomorrow. It's going to be a good one against Montana in the championship game at 3 p.m. So that's what's coming up next there. And on the men's side, a lot of questions, rightfully so. How does this roster get built? How does it get constructed? What kind of players does Coach Logie bring in? What kind of background, what kind of talent, what kind of skill, what kind of set do they have as they get ready to try to recharge and rebuild after this one? A couple of 500 conference seasons at 9-9 each of the last 2 years. You know, this was a roster that got heavily challenged in the non-conference slate and schedule. You know, they played a really wonderful non-conference schedule and had some ups and had some downs throughout that, but yeah, they challenged them. So what kind of schedule gets built? What kind of roster gets built? What what classes, right? So how many years of eligibility do some of the players who will come in next year, how many will they have? And what kind of level are they coming from? We saw guys like Max Ogmongpolo and Jay Mullins coming down from some of the power conference level. We also, in this conference, have seen a handful of D2 and JUCO-type players come in and have a lot of success. Do you find some of those types of players? You know, like a Jeremiah Davis was a JUCO All-American last year, but his season got derailed by injury. What is his prognosis for next year? Will he be able to do some things? You know, Trap Johnson, a high school recruit who was a redshirt this year. He'll be a redshirt freshman next year. What does he look like? What does he do? For a guy like Bryce Zephyr, Jed Miller, what kind of things do they have left for the Bobcats heading into a final year of eligibility next season? And a guy like Patrick McMahon, what's he doing next year? What's he looking like in his final year of eligibility? We know the sky's the limit for a guy like Patrick McMahon. And, how does he develop into a leader on this program for next season? So there's a lot of question marks, but a lot of good things, and obviously a lot of great trend lines. I mean, this program and this team have the investment. They've got a great coach and a great staff. And how do things play out for the Bobcats in this offseason? It'll be interesting to see what type of players come in, what type of background they have, how many years of eligibility do they have. You know, there was a kind of a short-term vision of what this team kind of looks like and could be, because they wanted to go for it with some of these guys who are some kind of legacy guys now in your Tyler Pattersons and Sam Leichelot's of the world. We'll see. And at the end of the day, what kind of level do some of the next wave of Bobcats come from? Do we see some P4 guys coming down, or do we see some JUCO or Division II guys on their way up? Because we have seen some success around the Big Sky with those types of transfers. So those are certainly some of the questions coming up in the offseason, and we will see what gets played out and how it all gets played out as we move forward. So Montana State falling 72-45 in the semifinals of the Big Sky tournament today. We've got one more break to get to, and we'll see if we can get a post-game interview here as head coach Matt Logie was ejected from this ball game with a couple of technicals today. And right now, Montana and Idaho warming up on the floor for the second and final semifinal. There's one more spot in the championship left. And Northern Colorado, the 1 seed, awaiting the winner of this one between the Vandals and the Grizzlies. So one more timeout. We'll take a break. Back after this, Bobcats fall 72-45 against the Bears in the semifinals of the tournament. Back after this, you're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
Northern States Fishing Tools, a proud sponsor of the Montana State Bobcats, has been serving the eastern Montana and western North Dakota oil fields since 1978. We are here to provide you with the best tools and services, all at competitive prices. Northern States Fishing Tools services the Williston Basin with fishing and rental tools, along with downhole tools that include packers, plugs, and through tubing equipment. We have the expert knowledge to give you satisfying results based on your specific needs. Go Bobcats!
For all of your tree and lawn care needs, turn to Arbor Medic Tree and Lawn Care, a proud sponsor of MSU Athletics. Arbor Medic Tree and Lawn Care provides outstanding service for your landscape. For pruning, removals, stump grinding, tree moving, plant health care, and all of your landscaping maintenance needs. Check out Arbor Medic Tree and Lawn Care. Wade duly certified arborist.
Great houses start with a sound foundation. That foundation starts with a mortgage with Sarah Kelzer and team at Rate. She is Bozeman's trusted mortgage specialist with 20 years experience that knows the neighborhood. We have great rates and personalized home lending solutions, and our decisions are made quickly so you can move into your dream home sooner. Rate, the foundation of great homes throughout Montana. Call Sarah at 406-580-6604 or apply online. Equal housing lender subject to credit approval. NMLS number 400361.
No matter how far you may go, there's always one just down the road. Town Pump, who pump it up.
Town of Pump is excited to once again sponsor the Brawl of the Wild Rivalry Series between Montana State and the University of Montana. Look for special Brawl of the Wild promotions throughout the year at your local Town Pump.
Town Pump, right down the road. Pump it up. Oh, yeah.
Montana Fence, located in Billings, Bozeman, Great Falls, and Kalispell, is Montana's largest fencing superstore. Get everything you need for your fencing projects at rock bottom pricing. Low prices on all styles of farm fence, chain link, vinyl privacy, ornamental iron, cedar pickets, continuous panels, wood privacy. We have it all. Quality materials at truckload prices. Let the experts at Montana Fence help you plan your next project. Whether you use our team or do it yourself, check out Montana Fence.
Bobcat fans, support both your favorite team and Montana State students. When you shop at MSU bookstores, you help lower the price of course materials for Montana State students. MSU Bookstore is owned by MSU students and faculty and serves as the only not-for-profit campus bookstore in Montana. Shop online at msubookstore.org, at Bobcat Stadium on game days, or on campus in the Strand Union Building. Remember, Bobcat fans, when you shop at MSU Bookstore, all proceeds from your purchase go directly to lowering the cost of course materials for Montana State students.
Back one final time on the post-game show as the Bobcats fall today in the semifinals 72-45. I'm Keaton Gillogly, joined now by head coach Matt Logie. Coach, thank you for coming out and chatting with us here today. So, first of all, obviously those shots really weren't falling early on in this game. Did you feel like it was something Northern Colorado was doing, or was this just a night where you didn't have the shooters roll?
Yeah, we've talked about Avalanche basketball, and that snowball has kind of rolled downhill for us the last few games, and in this building certainly for the last few years. And we just couldn't get the rim unlocked today. You got to credit Northern Colorado's defense. They did a good job of making things difficult for us. And we just couldn't get any positive momentum on the offensive end, but when you look at what we did defensively in the first half to hold a team that's averaging 85 points a game to 29, still had it within striking distance at halftime and tried to make some adjustments. And, it just wasn't our night tonight for a variety of reasons, most of which had to do with Northern Colorado's terrific team. They've won 25 games for a reason. We just didn't we didn't play our best tonight.
Yeah. And I thought in a lot of ways, obviously you were in the locker room after that second technical, but I did feel like in a lot of ways this team handled this game with a lot of grace. And look, they lost, but they lost like a champion today. I didn't see any complaining. I didn't see any dirty fouls, and I thought they really handled a lot of this with grace and like a champion tonight.
Yeah, our guys have a lot of class. We have 6 seniors in there that obviously are really hurting right now. We've got 4 guys that have been with me for 2 years. We got Jabe and Max that entrusted our staff and this program to their last year of college basketball. And then you got Tyler Leckalot and Tyler Patterson, Sam Leckalot, and, guys that have just been staples of this program. And, our program obviously prides itself on our competitive excellence, but we also, we pride ourselves on doing things the right way, and those guys have done it the right way the entire time they've been at Montana State.
As we look forward going on from here, how much have you thought about what you want to do in terms of roster construction next year, in terms of where you want to pull players in, and how much eligibility you hope to have with the next wave of Bobcats coming through?
Yeah, I think in today's landscape, this is a year-to-year deal. While you're building a roster from year to year, you're also at the same token trying to make sure that those new faces, new personalities, and new talents fit into the roots and the core of your culture. And so that's what we'll continue to do. I think this year provided a ton of clarity and growth for our program in terms of what the next steps look like, and the way we finish the year outside of tonight in playing Bobcat basketball, in terms of our pace, our sharing of the ball, our ferocity on defense. That's the blueprint. And so we're going to go out and find guys that fit that blueprint, and hopefully have a chance to be right back here on Wednesday night in Boise next year.
I know it stinks to lose today, but there is Bobcat basketball going on with Coach Binford and the women tomorrow, which is really exciting. You're going to have a chance to cheer them on and watch some of that game?
Absolutely. They've had an incredible season, and the best is yet to come. Big one tomorrow night, and really excited for them.
All right, Coach, really appreciate the time. Thank you for coming out and talking to us today. And, all good things have to come to an end, and new good things will be starting in no time.
Yep, best is yet to come.
No doubt. That's head coach Matt Logie. Appreciate the time and the insight today. All right, that will wrap it all up. I know this hurts today, and it's emotional, but only because you care. And although the Bobcat men's season comes to a close tonight, the women continue tomorrow, 3 p.m. the tip-off. Daniel Sally will be on the call at 2:45 p.m. tomorrow afternoon for the Big Sky Tournament Championship game against Montana. So that's going to be a lot of fun. All right, that will wrap it up on my end. It has been a privilege and an honor to be behind the microphone throughout this year. I mean, what an incredible run through football on into basketball. I only had to miss one basketball game this year with that deep crossover run. And this season, although it has not been perfect, it has been certainly one of the more memorable years of my 15-year broadcasting career, and I will cherish all of the highs and, frankly, all of the lows that we have experienced together. And the best part about it is we get to do it all over again next year. However, I don't want to sit here and pretend like it's all done, because the women have an awesome opportunity tomorrow, and you still get to get in and cheer on the Bobcat Blue and Gold tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. All right, well, thank you to all the coaches and the players that have joined us on all of our shows and our talks and our conversations and our broadcasts throughout the years. They're the ones that make this all possible, and they have shared a lot of time and effort with us, and their hard work makes this so much fun and so enjoyable night in and night out. Thank you to all of our producers throughout the year. Bryn Chalmers has been back in the studios tonight. Thank you to Brian Preby back at home, Noah and Bill and Tom and everybody in the sports information department, and all that we have been able to enjoy together. Thank you for tuning in, and look forward to talking again soon. And tune in, catch Daniel tomorrow on the call at 2:45 for the women. All right, don't forget, look, it stinks, but it could be worse. Instead of blue and gold, you could be wearing dark pink and silver, and, well, any day you're a Bobcat, not a Grizzly, is a good one. So for the final time this year, the final score, Montana State falls 72-45 in the semifinals of the Big Sky Tournament. Until next time, this is Keaton Gillogly saying so long. You've been listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
Bobcat Basketball has been brought to